Are you okay?
I don't know. Is she? Poke, poke.
I like how that's going to be the very first thing someone hears when they start up this video is me saying, "Are you okay?"
That's better than what I had planned.
Oh, I'm sure.
Love you.
Mm-hmm. If you love me, you wouldn't do this to me.
Oh, come on. I can have a little bit of fun.
Fair.
And I haven't done it in a while either, so...
I don't think Ivan is here. Oh, he's here.
Is Ivan here? Is everybody here? Beep bop boop?
Nope. I'm hiding in a bag of trail mix.
Physically, I'm here. Mentally, I'm in space.
Ah, perfect.
In space.
So, physically here, mentally in space, in character, in another plane of existence. You're in three different places at once here.
Wait, what?
Existential crisis imminent?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I in another dimension?
What do you mean, why?
I think I have the right to ask.
Do you not remember what happened with Tiamat?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I went through an unstable portal, and this is where we ended up.
Yes.
Essentially.
I feel like that guy on The Simpsons with the bus driver. He's just like, don't make me tap the sign.
Oh my god.
Anyhow.
I haven't watched The Simpsons in forever.
I want to catch up on it again. Older seasons, 1 through 12, I think, is when it started going downhill. I don't remember. Anyone who wants to comment on The Simpsons, you're welcome to. You can let me know.
I love that series.
So do I. You can tell me what your favorite season is. Is everybody here, though?
I believe so.
Never had a favorite, but...
Judging by...
What?
Now you're starting to sound like me. Okay. So we got that. So that just leaves 𝘵𝘩𝘦𝘪𝘳. Is he there? Trying to get instilled in the character?
I can hear him singing.
Singing.
No, I can't. I wish I could.
Bless you.
But you.
Apologies, I forgot I was on mute.
Okay, no. No worries, man. Alright, cool. So, welcome back, friendos and seekers, to another episode / session of the Seeker Saga. Normally this is the part where I'd say this is a modern fantasy actual play show, but we're currently not in modern times right now, so that'd be a lie. So this is just a D&D actual play show / podcast in which we goobers play D&D. Fun times ahead. So, it's been a while since we've been able to do this. Apologies, as things have been kind of nuts. A lot of things happening. We got the holidays coming up as well, too, so that's been on everyone's mind. Whether or not we may do a Christmas one-shot, we'll see. If that's something you guys want to do, we can do.
Yes.
We could probably do that. I might have to come up with something just as insane as last time, but anyways. So.
We didn't even finish that one.
Yeah, I know. Fun fact, the big bad I had set up for that one, by the way, I can tell you this because I scrapped the idea, but the big bad I set up for that would have been a wizard who was Tourette's guy. You ever seen Tourette's guy?
Probably not.
It's an old internet personality.
Oh, okay.
Imagine somatic components being able to, like, speak your words, except it's just swears. Just imagine that.
Fuck!
Yeah, exactly. And then just fireball. Anyways, that was it. If anyone can catch the reference for Tourette's guy, you've earned extra cool guy points with me. But anyways, with that said, let's get back in to the Seeker Saga. So, last time, all of you were experiencing what it was like to be your past selves. You had made the trip from a little dingy town known as Secomber all the way down to Daggerford, all the way to Waterdeep in order to meet a contact that your good buddy and boss, Roger Evans, knows. A noble that is going to help fund your endeavors as the Silver Hand. Since this today is basically the founding. Getting everything finally set up and ready to go. During this time, on the way to Daggerford, you had found out that there was a caravan that had been demolished entirely, with leaving almost none alive, except for one person who unfortunately did not make it, but was able, with his dying breath, tell you that gnolls were afoot and causing problems. You had encountered said gnolls on the way to Waterdeep as 𝘵𝘪𝘳 accidentally flipped over the cart after getting speared.
Good job.
But luckily, was able to keep everyone mostly unharmed, especially the kids. They are unharmed. In fact, baby Alexander had a wonderful time. But with Xander keeping close eye on the kids, he stayed back with the caravans while the rest of you went out to take care of the threat, in which you were attacked by several gnolls, in which you all managed to dispense proper justice upon them, and had found something otherworldly amongst them, something not from of this plane of existence, but you're not quite sure what it was. Decided unanimously that it would be best, in order to send it back to where it came from using banishment, thanks to 𝘵𝘪𝘳's spellcasting. All of you got your bearings back together, went back to the carts, flipped it back over, and set back off to Waterdeep. It was around nighttime when you guys had arrived, and you had met the Grand Arbiter of Waterdeep, a man named Varus, who perpetually seems to have his face obscured by his hood. Can't really read the guy, but he seems well enough, as he actually seems to be big fans of yours, who loves to relay the stories of your heroic deeds back to the boys, so that the morale keeps up while they're doing their rounds and everything, because, guard duty's kind of crap. But anyways, with that said, you had managed to make it to the Winters household, in which you met with a man named Edgar Winters. Not before that, though, was you met his daughter, which was Abigail Winters, who seemed to be very kind, very kind of to herself, a little soft-spoken, but took no time for Tullius to try to get acquainted. Realizing, though, that work needs to be done first, he would go back and exchange pleasantries later. However, when talking to Edgar, you had managed to catch the eye of not only the nobles of Waterdeep, but also the lords as well, too. Meaning that all eyes are now on you guys, so no pressure, making sure that if all goes well, this will be a massive boon for you and the Silver Hand starting. So afterwards, there was a little bit of tomfoolery that happened after Tullius had realized that this guy, knowing the Lords of Waterdeep, does want nothing to do with his daughter now, realizing that probably isn't a good idea, as that's almost like screwing the mob boss's daughter. So he tried everything in his power to try not to, but 𝘵𝘪𝘳 was there to say, hey man, I'm your wingman, whether you like it or not. And which, they finally got to get a little acquainted, which was nice. While the rest of you were going off to bed, 𝘵𝘪𝘳 got stopped by Grand Arbiter Varus out of seemingly nowhere, asking him about a certain incident that may have happened in Daggerford, realizing that Varus knows of the wand fireballs that 𝘵𝘪𝘳 had stolen. He made a deal with him, saying that if he helps out with a small assignment, he'll go ahead and look the other way for this. But that's only if he does. If not, then there might be a penalty. But reluctantly, 𝘵𝘪𝘳 decided to accept it and would help first thing in the morning. However, fate had other plans in store for everyone's morning as something suddenly jutted out from the ground, a massive tower. Architecture is unlike anything this world has ever seen before. Nothing like any of the cobblestone towers and walls that you're all accustomed to, and of course the wooden houses from other places as well. This is anything unlike it. It almost seems as if the outside of it is covered in glass. It's reflective and smooth. And right before we ended the session, all of you were standing outside looking at it. It's actually so tall enough you can see it past the walls of Waterdeep and can see it. It's a little tough to see, but you're all standing out in front of the Winter's noble household, and Evans is looking about, and he mentions saying, "Well, that can't be good." So,
Huh. Well, in all my years, I've never seen a tower just rise out of the ground. That's honestly a new one.
Clearly.
he looks about and he says, "Well, we did deal with a mage's tower, and that can be transported around everywhere, but I've never seen architecture like this before. It's unlike anything I've ever seen, and we've been doing this for a while now."
Oh, what does the architecture look like exactly to your best?
Oh yeah, can I check do I feel like it's maybe from a different plane of existence?
Roll
Since
Arcana.
I'm smart enough to know what that is.
Roll Arcana. The architecture, Jack, when you look at it, is, again, not like anything you have ever seen. It's almost seemingly covered in glass. It has a smooth reflective surface in which you can see the sun kind of reflecting off of it. However, it seems to be emitting this dull green light from within, and seems to have these sort of this wireframe interior as well too. So it's like you can see windows, but it's not exactly really easy to see, and it's very cylindrical in shape as well too. As as Tullius and Rhea had put it, it looks a lot like looks like Alexa in terms of shape. So it's a big cylindrical thing. It's like a big Bluetooth speaker, essentially. So I'm speaking out of character here for a minute.
That's somewhat concerning.
Yes, it is actually. So what'd you get, Ganakti?
A 15.
15. From context clues alone, you're fairly certain this is unlike anything that this world has ever seen. Not just you guys, but you're fairly certain this is something that this whole world hasn't. So saying that it's from a different plane of existence is very plausible, but you're not 100% certain yet. Excuse me.
Right.
Okay.
Wait, so are we in our rooms or we're all huddled outside, right?
Yeah, you're all huddled outside, essentially. There's a couple of people seemingly, there's a little bit of some whispers and such, and of course a couple of the guards are trying to break up everything. It's like, all right. Nothing else to see here. Move along.
Oi, should we maybe, like, evacuate the civilians? Should we just go knock on the door? How's your day going? Cup of sugar?
Evans looks to you, Ganakti, and he says, "Well, judging from this distance, it seems to be quite a distance away. Meaning, we shouldn't have any real issue at the moment as far as civilians here. As long as they stay within the city walls, we should be fine. Us visiting said tower, though, as much as I'd like to, now this is within Waterdeep's territory. If we do so unsolicited, we might draw the ire of the nobles."
What?
It prompts investigation, doesn't it?
It does.
Wait, while we're here, why don't we just go ask permission from that big dude there?
I am sorry, the big dude?
Fuck, I forgot his name. Oh god.
Edgar.
The dude that we had the meeting with, it was Tullius's new baby boo's dad.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it was Edgar Winters.
Yeah.
The head of the household, and he nods and he says, "Ah, yes, I know who you're talking about, yeah." Edgar, yes. We should bring this to his attention. Perhaps we can convince the nobles of us going ahead and investigating. After all, this is actually an ample opportunity for all of us. We could actually start to build our reputation a little more, not just as adventurers, but as the Silver Hand now. Unless anyone has objections.
You'll hear none from me.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at chat. Cracking me up. Alright. So, what's everyone doing?
Can I take a quick look down the stairs and see if I can see the face of the dude that I just got handed in an envelope?
Oh, you're looking for Grand Arbiter Varus.
That's who I have to pin it on?
Oh, no, you're talking about the guy you're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking back at the note, there is a slight thing you did notice right before you went back to bed. There was a small little discrepancy on the note. It said to meet with the Grand Arbiter nowhere past 10. Currently, it's around 7. So it's the break of dawn, essentially.
I will meet up with you guys later. Just make sure we get a yes, and then I'll meet up with you guys to go fuck up the tower.
Evans kind of tries to stop you for a minute. He says, "What? Is there a problem?"
No, not a problem. I gotta take care of something before we go.
All right, very well then. I suppose we'll go ahead and discuss with Edgar about our potential scouting out mission. All right.
Oi, oi, Captain.
All right. So, at which point you head over to where the note takes you, which is over in. Let me take a look at the map of Waterdeep here for a minute. Let me put you guys to the said map, actually. It might take a bit to load. It's like super high res, so.
Oh my god, pickles!
You should have gone for the potato map.
So, let me see the potato map. I didn't want the potato map. It's down nearby where Stormhaven Island is. So you can cross the bridge over there. It might take you a little while. It may take like about an hour or so, but you can get there, no problem.
Wait, me?
I didn't realize Waterdeep was that big.
No.
Yeah, Waterdeep is huge.
No, I'll squint my eyes. Yeah. Can I like to make a picture? That's the spot, and I'll dimension door to the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll save that trip.
Okay, so you're dimensioning door into the building that Stormhaven Island has?
Yeah, fuck
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so you're kind of getting across the bridge, and you kind of realize, oh wait, I can just dimension door. So you do so, and you bamf right into the middle, in which you startle a couple of the guards standing on by, including one at a desk, as he almost falls out of his seat. Kind of looking by, he says, "Good gods, man!
Sorry, important good business." And I point to the giant fucking turd sticking out the ground.
He says, "Oh, that. Well, that is currently within the district of Waterdeep, so that doesn't concern you much right now, adventurer."
I shoot him a wink, and I walk on.
He kind of looks at you a little confused, and just shrugs, and then goes back to doing some paperwork. So where are you heading?
Wherever the note says, to Arbiter Varus.
Roll investigation.
Roll what?
Investigation.
In the unproficient, 17.
17? Okay. It didn't state exactly where to find him, just that you needed to come to Stormhaven Island. However, being a man that is not at all dumb, for now, joking aside, you do manage to find his office, in which you see that his name is engraved onto a plaque outside, reading out his title, Grand Arbiter. So you're not standing outside his door.
I walk in.
You just walk in?
Walk in,
Okay.
Oh,
just walks in.
I mean,
wait,
you can if you want to.
wait. Oh no, yeah. Oh, what is that lovely smell of pie? And I walk down the alleyway. I cast disguise self to change how I look. Fucking an elf. I walk back out.
Okay.
Oh, I have business with. And then I walk in here.
Okay, sure. So you walk in, and at which point you see what looks like to be a small crystal kind of... You see Grand Arbiter Varus, and he has a small little crystal hovering over his hand, and he seemed to be in mid-sentence, and he stops, and he sees you come in, and he says, "I'll be back in just a moment." And with that, it kind of blinks out of his hand, and he turns over to you, and he says, "Yes, can I help you with something? I don't..."
Oh, yes! I have important business. If we could speak in privacy.
If you could see his face, you could definitely feel an eyebrow raising, but he says, "But of course. Let me get the door for you." And he goes ahead and mage hands it and closes it. And then he gets over to his desk and sits down. And he says, "Very well then, what is it that you need from me? But first, I don't think
mate, it's fucking Gene. First off. Second off, I slap on the table. It said meet back.
It said what?
It says meet back here before 10.
Yes, I have business afterwards. Seems that you came here very punctually. Very good. Well then, that look is very not you, I'd say. Besides, I can already see through it. I had a feeling that it was you. Anyhow, with that said, are you ready to get started?
Oh yeah, get to it. We've got a giant turd sticking out the ground to deal with.
Not the words I would use exactly to describe the newest addition to Waterdeep, but sure. Alright. He goes ahead.
Whoa, just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Insight check on why the fuck you said addition to Waterdeep like it's casual?
Sure, go ahead. Roll insight.
Like it's not a fucking foreign sculpture from like Aztec times? Oh fuck. 22.
By listening to the way he talks and how you've met with him and had a few conversations already, you can tell that Varus isn't bothered by a whole lot. He has a very kind of calm demeanor about him, where he kind of keeps things kind of close to his chest, but he also kind of handles things with a little bit of humor. His overall personality can be described as nonchalant. So while everyone else is freaking out about this massive structure that is here, he is just calling it as an addition because it's right outside the gates, and that's what it is to him. It's just an addition. So that's kind of what you gather from that. And he says, what I have for you today is, well, very easy, essentially. All you have to do is identify someone, place that little pin that I gave you on their person, and we'll handle the rest.
Right.
The person you are looking for, his name is Albert. He's a fair-looking young man, around human, and age 22, blonde hair, green eyes. Very easy to spot out. We have reason to believe that he might be tied with some nefarious things around here in Waterdeep. one of which might be related to those gnolls that you managed to so gracefully slay. All you have to do is just place that on his person, and that's it. The only real difficult issue is finding the man in the first place. But enough time has passed where I believe he'll be out and about, skulking the streets. You might find him in a tavern or so. But I'll leave that to
he
you.
doesn't like do nothing during the day. He just does whatever.
Business as usual.
Oh. Alright.
Any questions for me?
Alright, well this is still... No, but this is still suspicious as hell.
And what is that, may I ask?
Oh, it's like, alright, so what's your proof that he's doing nefarious deeds? A, and B, what's a pin gonna do about no?
Well, the pin is a tracking device, first and foremost.
Oh!
All you have to do is make sure that it's on his person, he's unawares of it. Once you do that, be on your way, and that's it, and we'll handle the rest. As for the proof,
Alright.
there have been a number of sightings from a bunch of other people, and of course the Watch, that has made mention of it and made me aware of some very interesting things happening. Now, it could be absolutely nothing, and this man's just out and about late at night for no other reason than just because. Or he could be up to something. But I won't know until I actually get to talk to him. But of course, I am always busy with the mountain of paperwork, and he goes ahead and kind of gestures over to this large stack of papers on his desk. He says, a lot of times I don't get out very often. Yesterday was a bit of a treat. So, if there's anything else that you want to know, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, be on your way and take care of it.
We'll do a narrow miles of them intently.
All you can see is just you can't see his face aside from this is smile of his on his under his hood. He kind of
Shut the door, fucking weirdo.
Weirdo.
What if he heard you?
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Who knows? We'll go ahead and turn the scene over to the rest of the Seekers as they are inside the Winter's household. Evans is kind of... He's not really pacing, but he's kind of moving about, and he seems like he's deep in thought. And he looks over to all of you as he stops for a minute and says, "This is very difficult. I don't really know how to ask of this. Using the right words is paramount. It's key. We are new and trying to convince the nobles of us being able to do this without any red tape is, well, it's quite a task. So I don't know what we should do. How do we word things? Despite our numerous accolades, we could use that for leverage, but ultimately that's all that it is, leverage.
Well,
it's not a guarantee.
Well, who else will investigate the tower but us?
They can always send out other adventurers and such. To them, they're nothing more than just numbers.
Well, we just take care of a null problem. We could use that to our leverage. Thing with proving that we are quite experienced at what we do.
Right, that's what I was thinking as well. We could go ahead and use more of that as leverage. But I'm trying to find a way so we can guarantee that so that we don't have any issue. The less we have to deal with the nobles, the better. He kind of looks to all of you and he says, any thoughts? I understand it's still early in the morning, but you know, I can't do this without all of you.
I'm still trying to let my blood flow get back to its normal flow.
Right, yeah.
If you're catching my drift.
Uh-huh.
I won't question, but yes, I get it. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, fun story, but best save for a much less interesting time. What are we doing about that?
Well, my thoughts is, and you can add on and add addendums to this plan that I have, but I would like to scout out the tower. But if we do that without permissions to do so, despite the fact that it is indeed a foreign object, but it is within the bounds of Waterdeep, meaning if we don't have any permissions to do so, we can get caught up in a lot of issues. The nobles have been very strange lately.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Especially dealing with the Lords of Waterdeep, we don't want to upset them. If we can get their backing, imagine the good we can do all across Toril. All of it.
Yeah, their good sides.
It kind of looks at you kind of curiously and says, Are you okay? You seem to be sweating.
Yeah, I just, it was, I'm not used to the kind of linens that they use in those beds. It's real nice, really hot though.
Mhm.
You could see Evan's signature stare as he stares straight through you with his piercing purple eyes. But he goes like close to him and he nods and he says, I understand.
But more importantly, sure, even if we get permission to go in and check it, how the heck do we get inside?
It's a good question. Judging by from the outsides, it's not like as if we can scale up to any window and get inside, so I suppose, as odd as this is going to sound, use the front door?
Assuming there is a front door.
Assuming there is a front door, yes.
Door.
Yes. I know it sounds foolhardy, and it's not like anything that we usually do. We're very cautious about things, I know. But without a lot of time to meditate on this, my ideas are simply, well, simple.
We could also wait for whoever's in there to come out and say hello.
There might not be anyone in there, though.
Then who's in charge of it?
Who knows?
Giant glass pillar things don't just come out of the ground every day.
No, they certainly do not.
Oh god, it came out of the ground. You don't think this is from the Underdark, do you?
Drow architecture is not like that.
I don't know, it's really black.
Second guess.
No, Drow architecture doesn't. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, it is. It does seem to be made of this sort of obsidian steel, but it's also really simple. There's no flair to it.
I watch what you're saying. The lords might be hearing this. It could be theirs. And I shoot a quick glance at Liz.
I mean, listen, okay. I'll be the first to say, yeah, the Lords of Waterdeep have a lot of power. They have political power. They don't have this. As far as I know.
Supposedly that is true. It's more about the political side of things versus the what all of us can do. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that is the case. Suspect as it is, and it's as conspiracy as it does sound. As it is, Xander might have something here. It might belong to them, or it might involve them in some way. We don't know. We won't know until we scout it out. And I'd rather we do it without any issue. But despite me having to be lead on all this, I still want to hear what all of you say, and I will do As you wish. What do you think our plan of action should be?
I'm at a total loss.
Same.
Just kind of looking to the rest of you.
I mean, I'm totally okay with going through the front door and saying hello.
As I said, it's a bit foolhardy, but I can't think of any other way at the moment.
If all else fails, then yeah, that's it.
And if they don't have a front door, then my dearest can make a front. She's pretty good at making front doors.
That is very true. For better or for worse. Well, at any rate, I suppose we should go ahead and talk to Edgar about all this is what's going on. Oh gosh, I hate to ask of anything of him, but especially now that he's giving us a very generous sum of gold, but
Well,
this is our
maybe this will give us a chance to reaffirm, you know, his decision from last night. Maybe we can.
precisely my idea as well.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. And I look at Tullius. You're acquainted with the noble quite closely. Why don't you do something about it?
I don't know what exactly you're talking about, but let's go talk to Daddy and see what he thinks.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Well, if I have no further objections from everyone else, then I suppose this means we'll go ahead and talk to him. I don't think I've ever heard you use that phrase before, Tullius. That's concerning. Is everything okay?
Yep, everything's great.
You're acting pretty weird.
Nope, this is normal.
You call that weird? This is his every day.
Xander,
Oh, you're right.
How long have we known you?
Unfortunately, for too long.
For a little over a year, I'd say.
long enough to not have to ask questions. Now let's go.
I ask all the questions. I'm sorry.
As you guys are now heading over to the to Edgar's study, Evans knocks on the door, and you can hear Edgar's gruff voice from the other side. Come in. At which point he opens up the door, and Evans holds it open for all of you to walk in. As you can see, in the study, it's a little more well lit this time around. Behind his nice oak wooden desk, he seems to be writing down some things on some parchments, but he stops and he looks to all of you and places the quill down.
It's probably bedtime.
And he looks to all of you and he says, "Well, this is a very interesting predicament we've gotten ourselves into, isn't it?"
Yeah. You can say that.
Judging by the way all of you are here now and to talk to me, I assume this is about that structure, and you all wish to investigate it. Do I have the right of it?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you hit it on the nose.
Alright. I'll tell you what. I have to meet with the rest of the noble houses a little later today. And I will vouch for you, but for me personally, why don't you sell me the idea? Convince me. Convince me that you are the right ones to this task.
Well, starters, we did single-handedly handle the Nolan invasion that was coming to your town.
He nods, he says, "Quite true. But this may not be a matter of gnolls. This could be something far worse."
Unless you're willing to put the lives of town guard and potentially even civilian lives at risk, it would probably behoove you to let it fall onto us first.
Roll persuasion.
Boy.
Does anybody want to add anything else to this before Tullius rolls? Okay.
Great first roll. A natural 20.
Ooh. Okay.
Total 33.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I love me some numbers, Jesus.
Wow. Okay, I guess never mind. No one needs to give advantage.
He's a bard.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Edgar nods and you can see the expression kind of soften on his face a bit. Still rough, but you surmise that that's just him. As he looks and he says, "That is a very good point. I figured as much, but I wanted to hear it from all of you first." Very well then. I will go ahead and put my suggestion forward. It might be behoove you to meet up with them as well too, to give them your side of things. I do not wish to talk for the Silver Hand. It is not my place to do so.
Mm. Yeah.
All right. And Evans nods and he says, "Thank you. We will do our best to convince the nobles that we are the right choice." Edgar nods back and he says, "I'm sure you will, but do be careful about what you say. They will scrutinize you with every single word that you mutter. Now, if you have needs of anything else, I would kindly ask you to please leave. I have to take care of some things first." I will be leaving to go meet with the other nobles in about an hour. So, that gives you ample time to get prepared. And he kind of gestures to the doorway.
Well, I guess we better get ready.
Alright, so you guys leave.
Don't want to keep them waiting.
Okay. As all of you kind of pour out from the study, Evans closes the door gingerly, and he looks to all of you, and he seems a little more excited. He says, "Well, I think that went really well. I believe that we have a pretty strong case with us."
Yeah, we just have to impress the others.
Yes, and you can tell that his expression then dours a bit after that. He says, "That is quite true. The rest are much harder to convince." Well, it's fine. We'll cross that bridge once we get to it. For now, we should probably wait till 𝘵𝘪𝘳 gets back. I'd really hate to not have him around. For better or for worse.
It's bizarre of him to just simply walk out of that.
I agree.
Quite.
What?
I haven't seen that guy since, like, our meeting last night.
Right. Well, I went to bed straight afterwards anyways, but anyway. Well, we have about an hour to kill, so let's prepare.
After everything, I'm a little concerned if it's still good.
Anyhow, so, moving back to the scene with 𝘵𝘪𝘳, you have left you're now outside of the structure within Stormhaven Island, the little fortress.
Alright, Gene. You got this. Make it quick, get the fuck out of there. You don't have to think about this anymore. Just walk away with your life.
I think it's
Alright. I will look around. What part of the city am I in?
You're outside Stormhaven Island at the moment, so you're... I don't think you can see the map right now.
Yeah.
The primary island, like where all the taverns and all that shit will be, is on the main shit across the bridge, right?
Yeah, so once you cross the bridge, you'll be within the dock ward. You can go towards the main roads, and there's a couple of other taverns here. You got one that's called the Honorable Knight. You have one in the Castle Ward called the Hawkman. Go a little higher up, you can get to the Godcatcher. Nearby where House Winters is the Sword Maiden. And that's really about it at the moment.
Alright. Fuck, I don't want to waste a whole fucking hour crossing it again. So, oh, what a lovely tree. And I'll dimension door to the other side of the fucking bridge.
Okay, sure.
Wow.
Bamf once again, and you're on the other side of the bridge. No problem. All right, so
Alright.
how would you like to start your investigation?
Well, I have a rough description of him now.
Yep.
So I can just cast the spell. Yeah, I'll just cast Locate Creature on a mid-20-year-old blonde, Edward, right?
Hold on. No, Albert.
Albert.
Yes.
Oh, even more white. Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
And like, you know, waltzing up to the main, you know, thoroughfare or whatever.
Okay.
I'll just cast it out to see if I
Okay,
can
so
get
you,
it.
you spend a bit of time. Do you go there by carriage or by foot?
I don't know.
It's your choice.
Is it like the dudes that like pull carriage along and you just hop on?
Yeah, you can do that.
Alright.
You can stop by somebody for like taxi service, essentially.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
Okay. Roll me a d20 for me, real quick.
Oh fuck.
Okay.
That hurt.
Oh, 15.
15. Okay. You...
Just a straight D20?
Yeah, just straight d20. When you go ahead and hail over one of the Waterdeep's taxi services, essentially, you manage to get someone who seems to be well about, seems to be in good spirits. Not super high energy, but enough to help you get across where you need to be. The cart itself doesn't seem very rickety. It seems very good. And he goes ahead and asks for a slight fee of 1 gold to get you.
I'll give him 2.
Give him 2. All right. He looks at it and he says, "Oh, thank you, sir. All right, off we go then." All right. So you have, back to your spell. You were doing locate creature, right?
Right.
I need to look this up. Entry 5E.
Made it way easier. I thought it was going to be a whole investigation and shit.
I didn't want to make it too involved. You got some important things to do. Let's see. Describe a name or creature familiar to you. Familiar to. Okay, all right. You sense the direction of the creature's location as long as that creature is within 1,000 feet. Oh, right. Concentration up to an hour. Very good.
In every direction.
Yep, in every direction. It's big ol' radius. As you are moving through the trades ward, past the Honorable Knight, you see, as you're going down the main road, you see it cross by you, but you don't feel any presence. So you just kind of shrug and go back to concentrating on the carriage. And as you reach up towards the castle ward, there's the Hawkman over there. And you look over there, kind of hoping maybe, no, nothing really. But then something catches your attention as you're getting a little further up north. Something's tugging your way over there. And eventually, once you turn the corner over towards which street is this? Hang on, I got like a mega zoom in. Bazaar Street. You feel something tug onto your right side. And you stop the carriage driver for a minute. As you look over to your right, you see one of the taverns, known as the Great Drunkard. That is where it's coming from.
Oh, he really is a drunk. In the back of the taxi, I'll disguise self as like an old... Oh, the same elf as before, where he's like 50... Oh, elves are different, like 800 years older. And he's all like grey bearded, like hunched over, and in one hand I'll have like free book.
You'll have a what?
I'll have free book.
Free book?
Yeah, 3. Like I'll just have 3 books. In my
3
hand.
books in your hands. Okay, I thought you said free book. I'm like, Is that like something to Free Willy, or did I miss something? Okay,
Free books.
Okay, yeah, three books in your hands. Okay, cool. So you get off and you dip to one of the. You wave off the carriage driver first off, and you dip into one of the alleyways, and you go ahead and cast disguise self as this much older looking elven man, kind of hunched over, and you got your 3 books with you. You get them out from the street. No one is none the wiser as you enter into the Great Drunkard, as it seems to be kind of lively at the moment. It's a mix between a little bit of excitement due to what's going on the outside walls, but also a little bit of concern, as a lot of people aren't as lively in taverns as you're used to. But a couple of them seem to be in high spirits. Go ahead and roll me perception real quick.
Alright, while I'm looking for the dude, can I also keep an eye out for, like, if I see any important conversations going on here?
Sure. Yeah, that'll be fitting into your perception.
Right. Wait, am I proficient?
I don't know, are you?
No, +2, 19.
19? Okay, that's still really good. As you're entering in, you're kind of hearing some whispers about the tower that is outside. You hear a slight conversation as you're walking up to the main counter of the tavern. You hear a couple of guys talking about it. One of them's very hushed whispers as he says, "I don't know what that thing is, but it is evil, I'm sure." Kind of leave it behind. You kind of see a couple of adventurers as they kind of seem like how you were once a year ago, sort of greenhorn adventurers, kind of looking out to do some things there. You can hear them talk about. It's like, "Do you think we should go check out that tower?" And the other guys, one of the other guys, a warrior-ish looking kind of guy, says, "We should. Who knows what untold riches could await us there." In which you set up to the counter next to where the bartender is, and you see there's another older-looking gentleman, kind of just minding his own business next to you, and seems to be a younger-looking man. As you look over, he fits the bill for this Albert that you're looking for, and you can hear him talking to this guy. And he says, "I'm telling you, these people that are working for the nobles, they know something that's going on here. I'm telling you." And the older gentleman says, "Please, for the love of Paylor, leave me the hell alone. I just want to drink." And he stops for a second. He says, "Well, you'll be sorry once you realize what's happening." And he goes off.
Trying to pin it on that.
He kind of then walks off away at the moment. What do you do?
Right. While I see him walk away, I'll make like not a beeline, but I'll casually walk to like intercept him.
Okay.
And I'll like bump into him on accident, and I'll stumble all my books on the floor, and I'll drop them, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, young man," and I'll like shake on my fucking walker.
Okay, roll performance for me real quick.
Okay.
And I need to make a secret roll as well too.
Oh fuck yeah! +2, 21.
21, very good.
I love playing a smart character.
You're right. Okay. Okay, so this is what happens. You bump it. I'm sorry, could you hold on for a minute? We're gonna take a quick intermission, everyone. Just give me 1 second, okay?
Alright, same. I'm gonna get snacks.
Mother. Welcome back. Andrew just stepped away.
That's fine. We'll go ahead and just talk nonsense for a little bit. So, How's everyone doing? Our show is now turned into a talk show.
Planning. Wow.
Yeah,
Messing with fusions? Question mark.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm back.
Welcome back. I just got back myself too. I was saying this show is now turned into a talk show, jokingly, because I was saying I was just talking nonsense with everybody. So, at any rate.
Oh, so we went from the seekers to the speakers.
Oh, there he goes.
Damn. Okay. Anyways, so back to the scene. Yeah. So you're able to sort of put up this performance really well, and yeah, you do the full on like pratfall kind of thing going on, in which books are thrown in every which way, and Albert, this man, he pretending to be Albert, looks over to you. He says, "Oh, dear gods, I am so sorry. I must have been in my own little world. Here, let me help you." And he goes,
Understandably, young gents. I understand being a busy young lad. And right when he bends over, I would gently try and pick the pin and put it like on his back, maybe like tuck it up under his collar.
Okay.
Like so it's kind of showing, kind of not showing.
Sure, go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand.
Alright, wait, let me get a really good dice from the bottom of the bag.
Careful, them bottom bag dice are nasty.
Bottom bag dice make the rockin' world go around.
Oh yeah. This is why we trust in the process. Oh, that's a -1 with this character, so that's a 17.
Still really solid.
No.
Let me make a secret DM roll.
Okay, secret DM.
Okay. So, as you're doing that, as he's trying to help him pick up the books, you realize this is just the opportune moment to do this. So you go ahead and reach over, grab the little glowing pin, slightly glowing, a little dim, as you place it under his collar, and as you do that, he gets up and he's about to turn around, so you quickly retract your hand, and you start to do the whole thing again, the old man thing. And he goes ahead and hands the books over to you and says, "Oh, forgive me again, sir. I am so sorry. I had not noticed you come in here," but he goes ahead and hands the books over to you. He says, "I hope there wasn't any damage."
I flip him over. Oh no, they look to be of sorts. Blessings of Bahamut unto you, young chap. And I bow my head.
He gives a slight bow to you. He says, "As to you, actually, while I have you here, can I be interested in telling you about something that might be happening around here in Waterdeep?"
If it has anything to do with the giant turd outside, I have an important meeting to go to in regards.
Lunch?
Let me make another secret roll. He says, it's quite important. I won't take up much of your time, I swear."
Oh yeah, alright, I've got a sec.
Okay, he kind of pulls you over to the side, over to one of the tables. He says, "Do you find it awfully convenient that something like this is actually happening here in Waterdeep?"
Well, not really. There's been a lot of weird things going around. But what you mean, young chap? I'm all in.
He said, he kind of leans in a bit and he says, "I feel that the nobles are up to something. I mean, it's to keep the little man down, right? What better way to do this than some big distraction? Big old tower coming out of nowhere? It's all part of the plan, you see."
And you believe they can do something like that? Did it really seem... Oh, I'm so God, I gotta get shaky to keep the act up.
He says, "I'll take my word for it. You'll eventually see. I mean, it's all about keeping those with not a lot down while those who are higher up stay there. I mean, obviously, right? They don't want to lose their position. There's been a lot happening here, and a lot of heroes. I've heard about a couple of them recently. Just came into town. And they've done all sorts of interesting things. I even heard that
they've been doing.
Yeah, I heard that they went and pissed off like 2 gods.
Well, not so much. I mean, really?
I'm gonna make a roll. He says, no, really, honestly, it's really interesting. To anger 2 gods like that? But their arrival here seems almost too convenient.
You know, I think it's less convenience and more the fate. And I'll pull out my Bahamas symbol. Perhaps they're here right when we needed them. And I reach into my pocket and I say, you know, perhaps what you need is just a little shrug in the right direction. And I give him 10 gold.
Oh, okay. He looks at it and he
I pat him on the shoulder.
kind of looks at it and then back at you. And he says, this is very generous, sir, but what do I do with this?
Oi, do good. I look him right in the eyes as I say it. And then I go walking off.
It's almost like you just kind of stunned him, like, right then and there. That act of generosity had just almost changed this man's life. As he just sort of sits there stunned with the 10 gold in his hand. And then you close the door behind you, as you've now left him to his fate.
And I go and I shrub along to like around the corner, and I drop the disguise, and I go meet up with my friends.
Okay. So you immediately begin booking it back to House Winters. Barreling past people. And at which point you manage to make it in. We'll move the scene back to the rest of the Silverhand members. What's everyone... just gave $1,000 and walked away. So, what's everyone doing? You have an hour to kill. What are we doing?
Well, I like to be prepped for the upcoming journey.
Okay. Dealing with the kids. Dealing with. Okay. How do you prepare?
Basically getting the gear ready, weapons ready, whatever.
Okay. Alexander's being naughty as always.
Maybe get some rope.
This is a... Jack, I'm on a level with you here. This is a meeting, not an interrogation.
Wait, what? I forgot what we were.
Oh my god! Boy, I'm going to fucking strangle you!
I thought we would go back in our rooms. I lost track. Please. Jake, please.
What do you mean, please?
Jake.
You please.
I don't know what just happened, but...
Okay.
Okay, we're in a meeting. Okay.
Well, you're not in a meeting right now. You're back.
Not yet.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, if you want to over-prepare, absolutely. Go for it, man. I'm just being a little difficult, is all. Because I'm saying, yeah, it's because you're getting rope and such. Like, why would you need rope to a meeting?
Because I'm pretty sure we're going to the tower.
We'll see. So, anybody else? Anybody else doing anything?
22.
Well, what's going to happen? Actually, there is something that does happen, and I need Xander's attention for a second. So, he's planning for the worst. He's a paranoid man at 22. Oh, okay. I don't know if Xander is there at the moment. Oh, yeah, exhaustion? Okay. I'll fill you in on it later then. So don't worry. There is a little thing that will happen. No, actually, it's just really quick. I can tell you right now if you're awake enough for it. As you're kind of getting prepared for this thing going on. Oh wait, you're typing. Hang on. I can wait. I don't blame you for being tired. Okay. So as you're kind of preparing for things getting on and about, you can't help feel like that something is like kind of being forgotten until something like almost a rift in reality kind of opens up beside you and it spits something out, kind of hurling it through the room, and it just sort of sticks into the wall next to your guest bed. And you look over at it, and it is a dagger. And you realize, oh, that's right, this is mine. This is a, I'll fill you in on what this is exactly later, but know that it does have a name, and it is a temporal dagger. I'll tell you what it does later.
Oh.
You have one of those sitting around.
I'll tell you, and I'll tell you why it came out as well too. Actually, I'll tell you that right now. That rift opened up was a rift in time. Something you're a bit familiar with, as you lent your favorite dagger for a bit to something, an entity that may have needed it. Perhaps maybe someone that you know. But seems like that it is returned back to you for the meantime. And I'll give you the stats about it next time when the exhaustion hasn't hit you super hard.
Forgot I needed.
You just said, nah, I'm done with this. And just fucking yeeted it through time and space.
Thanks, Jonas, for the wondrous gift I forgot I needed. Alright.
Just tosses it over his shoulder.
Exactly. Alright, so. Anybody else? I got an hour to kill.
Probably just.
I don't know. That was a bit of a surprise.
Reality just went.
Here, for you.
What did I see?
It gave you a little bit of a favor, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that works.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, you're there, kind of just keeping up with the kids until that rift in reality shows up and just spits out a dagger.
That's something that happens every day.
I could totally picture that. I was like, what the hell look. Alright, so, Jasper, you had mentioned that you were kind of keeping up with some infusions, letting Faith help out with the kids if need be. Anything else that you were doing?
No, that's
Okay.
about it, besides letting the mind wander as to exactly what we might or might not find in that large tower.
True. At which point, I will ask Tullius, what are you doing?
Lying low.
Don't blame me. So, that's fair. Gnocchi, you're able to reach the Winter's household just in time, as it seems that you can tell that there's like a big carriage outside that seems to be getting prepped. But you go ahead and barrel past it through the front gates as the guards out there give you a salute as they see this half-orc man just booking it tough up the stairs into a noble house.
Good day.
And then you open up, and everyone has gotten all their things together and are out in the foyer of the house. Evan seems to be reading from his book as all of you are kind of now gathering together. And Evan sees you and he says, "Oh, Gnocchi, it's good to see you again. What's everything okay out there?"
Right. Yeah, I was just securing proper equipment for the mission.
Really? What you got?
He goes ahead and nods and he says, "Very well. I have no reason not to
Oh,
believe you."
well, little magic girl. And I pull
Girl.
out the fucking...
Boy.
Sorry. The little magic man. I pull out the little fucking, the wand of fireballs.
Hmm.
Pull out, and I spin it around.
Careful where you point that.
Yeah, Evan sees that. He says, "Oh, whoa, that should not be indoors."
Oh, yeah! And I point it over at, Rhea.
Oh, you're pointing at Rhea? Oh my god. Evan just looks away, says, "Oh, well, I am not responsible for any broken, what-haves-its that may occur."
Gee, don't make me get face to pin you again. Remember
Just
what
have a
happened?
challenge.
Oh dear.
I step back.
You kind of reach.
Oh, so we're blowing up the tower.
Not quite.
Yeah, I want to say real quick as a quick detail, Rhea, you're kind of going for your sword, which is actually wrapped around you like a belt.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Right. Solara's wrapped around you like a belt, and then hanging off to the side is the handle, which is kind of bent in a way where it almost looks like a chain, kind of hanging from the side. So it's kind of cool looking.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just a little detail I wanted to give to you about that. But Evans kind of looks over to you, Kanakti, and says, we're not trying to destroy the tower. We're trying to convince the nobles that we are the right people for the job to investigate. If we do have to come to destroy the tower, I really have no earthly idea how we do so, but we'll cross that bridge once we get there.
Or no, just saying, the only other people I saw looking at it was some fucking greenies back at a tavern who were like, oh, we're just gonna do it, so we're probably the best people for this.
Well, opportunity knocks, but sometimes it's best to leave the door. I hope for their sake that they don't investigate. Who knows what horrors lie beyond that. But then again, this is what we're trying to do. Trying to create the Silver Hand so that the people have a place to go when they want to try to help out as much as we want to. But you already know the philosophy. We've been over this several hundred times. As he says that, Edgar comes walking out down the stairs with his walking stick, and he says, I hope all of you are prepared to discuss with the nobles your plan of convincing, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I guess we are.
Good. Come with me. At which point he walks past, opens up the door towards where the outside front courtyard of the noble house.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume all of you follow along?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, at which point, you are all met with a large sort of caravan kind of train thing kind of going on here. So the front, there's a couple of very immaculate-looking white horses out in front. The first carriage outside seems to be meant for those of the household, as it seems the most decorated. Edgar steps in, and before he closes the door, he gestures over to the one behind him, which is still very well kept together, but not as luxurious looking as the other one. But it is very sizable. It seems like it could fit all of you in. He says, as Edgar's about to close the door, he says, we'll be heading off to the place that we usually discuss business matters with. So, it'll take a bit of time, but discuss with one another about your plan of action. Or at least, I assume that's what Evans here would tell you. And he goes ahead and closes the door. He says, and then Evans goes over to the other side and he opens up the door for you all, and he says, well, no time like the present.
My kingdom for a permanent enlarge spell. Alright, Faith, you know the drill.
And the drill is?
I should just follow the carriage.
Okay.
For the time.
Sure.
Forget how big a Steel Defender can actually get, so.
Kind of sizable. It's considered a medium-sized creature.
Okay.
Alright, so I guess everyone's inside the carriage then, yes?
Oh yeah.
Alright, yeah, you're inside. Everything is very well put together, very clean. And you can feel it start to move and rock about. And you're just kind of riding it all together. And Evan says, it kind of oddly takes me back to when we were all first meeting. And it all kind of started with a carriage ride.
Deja vu?
A little bit. It's interesting that a year passes by and suddenly we are making a name for ourselves and actually doing some good around here.
Get it, Tullius? Doing it good.
I'm just gonna glance at him now. I feel like.
Oh, that was...
Yeah.
At which point, Evans leans in a bit in a hushed tone. He says, Tullius, please tell me you didn't make friends with Edgar's daughter.
Yeah, Tullius, please tell me studying that I heard down the hallway last night.
Oh my god.
Ganakti, how do you seem to know so much about what went down?
Yeah, I was actually very curious. How do you know?
I see many things with these orc eyes of mine.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
You know what? I'm going to insight check him.
Sure, go for it.
Deception. Oh.
Alright. 8?
Oh, bet I rolled a 14.
No. No worries, Xander. Well, if you need to back out, my dude, I understand. I'll catch you up on everything that happens afterwards. But anyways, moving on. Interesting. How do we play this out?
I beat him in my deception roll.
That's true.
I definitely rolled.
Yeah.
I mean deception.
So I think, at which point, yeah, Tullius, you're not really sure. I'm not quite sure what's going on with Ganakti, but you do kind of believe that, yeah, his eyes are pretty good. You would admit he's got good eyesight.
Yeah. At the very least. I'd say more than passing acquaintances now. But it's not like I'm, tying the knot or anything, for sure.
Which Evans chuckles. He says, yes, as long as I have known you, that is almost a thought in which seems impossible to come to pass.
I know, right? Putting me down in one place, I just couldn't do it.
Nah, you'll find somebody eventually.
Yeah. Stranger things have happened in our journeys, so I'd say that it's very possible.
Okay.
Foreshadowing.
Anything's possible. I mean, look at this guy.
Quite.
Seduce anybody.
And just about has.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you know, you guys are great and all, but don't think I'm going to be making any passes towards you. No offense.
None taken.
Yeah, I'm taken.
It would be kind of odd. Mainly because we're all working together. Save for the couple over here.
Well, I mean, Xander and Rita have a reason. And they're a wonderful couple.
Of course.
Yeah, at the
I'm
very
just
least,
confused.
at the very least, you know, I make sure to keep it in the bedroom. These guys, it's all the time.
That's what sort of a family does.
Yes, I know that you have a version to, what did you call it? PDA?
Well, yeah, I would say that.
Well, eventually I have a feeling that may change. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you'll be the bachelor for the rest of your life.
I'll scoot over to Tullius and be like, yeah. Or maybe you won't be. To the grin.
I like to keep things, you know, imaginative. You know, leave something for the mind to fill in, rather than just blatantly putting it out there. That's why, you know, what needs to be private stays private. I don't kiss and tell.
Wait,
Quite literally.
so on the not so private bits, did she tell you anything else?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, Ganati, that... You do seem to understand something.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, if you spent so long with her, did she tell you, oh, my dad's like super evil, oh, I worship a crazy fucking sculpture that juts out the ground?
That seems a bit of a preposterous notion, but we've had some...
You know,
I mean, we've had some betrayals in our time, sure, but...
Sate my curiosity, what exactly did you hear on your little outing away from the group?
Wait, who are you asking?
Ganati.
Oh, wait, what? I
I'm
thought you were asking.
No, I'm asking Ganati. So what else did you hear on your little outing? Sate my curiosity.
Oh, yeah, so guys, I don't know if it's because this town's so big, but I think we've got, like, a little bit of a fan base? Not really a fan base, because they kind of hate us.
A reputation.
They definitely, like, know about us, and they're like, oh, they got hair, and the fucking sculpture got hair, so coinky dink. And I was like, no, they're cool, they're meant to save us from the ground floor.
Conspiracy theorists, I see.
I love it.
It's unfortunate, but we would have detractors.
Hopefully we don't have to run into anyone that might impede us.
I certainly hope not.
Hmm.
The thought of that worries me. I want people to see us in a good light. I don't wish for them to see us as problematic. We're here to help, not to impede.
As well, the people were like super scared of this fucking thing that just popped out the ground, you know, it's really fucking weird and nightmarish. So if we can get this, that's some really, really good clout for us.
Exactly my idea as well. It'll boost our reputation quite highly, especially with us just starting. I mean, imagine our accolades already, and then eventually the saviors of Waterdeep, if it ever comes down to it. That... well, I feel like we could put that on the wall and frame it.
Could be done.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves now.
Right, we mustn't put the cart before the horse.
Before we do anything done with that tower, we gotta deal with the bigger obstacle.
Yes, the nobles. You can almost there's a detestment in Evans in here, in which you don't hear very often. It's almost seemingly out of character.
I know I keep bringing it up, but it's definitely a looming shadow.
It seems like you had trouble with nobles before.
Yes, I have. Despite me working for one. Before we had met. However, that was a good arrangement. Many of the others will see to it that their wealth continues to increase, and so does our power. It's, quite frankly, disgusting.
I see.
Not to say that any of the noble houses, Winter's included, don't have skeletons in their closet, but at the same time, I trust the Winter's house more than any other. Speaking of which, we have a couple that I'm certain that we're going to be meeting with. I might as well tell you about. So we have Winter's household, and there's about 5 altogether. 4 more that we have to talk about. There's House Gilland, which is run by a man named Davin. He's the house head. They are merchants. Nothing more, nothing less. Then you have Richmere, and the house head of that, his name is Brom, a very stout-looking gentleman. Probably has won many a arm wrestling contest in his day. Used to actually be an adventurer before he set out to be a very well-renowned blacksmith. Now his wares are highly wanted. Then you have an elven household known as Stellaman, and the house matriarch of that, her name is Adelina. She is the one who's going to be scrutinizing us the most, I'm sure. She's... what's the word? What's the best way I can put it? Obnoxious?
Sounds right.
And finally, the last one that would probably be more on our side than the rest, is Skyshield, and a man named Torville. He helps out with the guard here, actually. He sets up a few of the training centers that are around nearby. Tries to make sure that they are well-trained and able to handle anything that comes along, gnolls included. That's what we're dealing with.
Quite the unusual variety, I'd say.
Or completely normal.
It is a variety. It's a colorful cast of individuals.
And now I know why Lady Ashfing told me never to get involved in politics. Okay.
She is right. She is a smart woman.
Definitely.
At any rate, are there any questions that I can try to help answer while we're here?
Well, do you know what they're like as persons, or you just know them through their occupations?
Aside from Adelina, I'm not entirely certain. I've heard that Davin is no nonsense, very softly spoken, but he's not too blunt. He's just to the point. Not unkind, but just, no nonsense. Brahm, on the other hand, is very lively, but is always listening for anything that may sound out of place. And Torville is much the same way as Dave.
You have some of my potholders.
Oh my lord. At any rate, that's all I really know about them. We're mostly going in blind here. I have not spoken to any of them personally, and nor do I wish to. But it is what it is.
Would we get in trouble if we knew something about the tower, like you said that we're just getting permission to investigate. But like if I scroll on it, because I want to like, let's see if there's like little fucking critters crawling out the sides of this thing, like, you know, make sure there's nothing coming for the city. Would it hurt us to tell them that we've seen something, or would it help us?
I want to say it would help us, but honestly, I have a feeling that, if anything, Adelina, most of all, would probably try to use that against us. May make us sound very suspicious.
So let's be smart about it. Let's be like, oh, we just wanted to take a look.
Do you have information about the tower?
I will, and I'm gonna start ritual casting and scrying on the fucking turd.
Okay.
So I can like, see an overhead view, hopefully see something.
And he sees you doing that, and he says, "Ah, I see. Good plan. It's best to keep an eye on things." I'll go ahead and let you know what you see. So you're gonna you're scrying outside the tower?
Yeah.
Okay. What you see in your mind's eye as you close your eyes and kind of concentrate on the scrying spell is the image opens up. You see what looks like to be the green grass hills around Waterdeep. However, when you look at the tower, it's massive and very imposing just standing outside of it. However, what seems very interesting is that there seems to be these constructs, these almost like golems in a way, made of, you assume, metal and such, but they also seem to be covered in this strange crystal. They seem sort of kind of hobbling about almost mindlessly around the tower, almost seemingly guarding it, but they don't seem to be intelligent of sorts. They just seem to be there to guard.
Are they all up and along it, or are they just on the floor outside?
On the floor outside of it. Nothing seems to be on the walls of the tower. What's interesting, though, another detail that speaks out to you, I won't make you roll this, because it's pretty obvious, is that it almost seems like as if the ground has shifted from grass to tile outside the tower. So surrounding it in about, say, 100 feet around in a radius is just this tile.
Is it like a marble type deal?
Kinda. It's kind of a bit of like a marble-ish kind of granite-esque
More
type.
like
Yeah, kind of granite-esque in terms of the way it looks. Yes, it's almost like it's almost like as if the tower itself has almost terraformed the area around it.
Does the tile seem like? Is it like a pattern to it?
Not really. Just tile. Doesn't seem to have any sort of patterns to it. No sigils. No indicators of anything. Just tile.
Alright.
These the golems, the things that are guarding out with these crystalline structures jumping out of them, seem to be at least 12 feet tall. They're pretty big. And they're kind of hobbling around, just sort of guarding over it. You can kind of see about 4 of them so far, but there might be some behind the tower as well.
Right.
And that's currently what you see right now.
Alright, I'm gonna make my blue eyes go away. And I was like, oh my god, guys! It's fucking wild over there! They're fucking making like monsters and shit, and they're starting to come from the city!
Yanakti,
What?
calm down. Speak slower.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
I'm gonna hurt you.
Please don't scare us like that again.
It's a good thing my hair can't turn any more white, or else I'd be in trouble.
No, okay, so like, it's kind of weird. Like the towers in the earth, kind of, you know, and the earth around it has like changed. It looks like a different material. It looks like some like fancy fucking marble you're gonna see in like the noble house we're about to go to.
So wait,
Like the
you're
Earth
saying
itself.
it's terraformed, as if the ground around the tower has changed to tile?
Yeah, like it's real specific. It's not like just stone. It's like smooth and shit.
Suspicious as all heck.
Concerning.
It's probably a part of the tower, I surmise.
What if it's what if it has some sort of, I don't know, magical aura that's like spreading and changing its surrounding and its environment?
Oh, if that's the case, then we
Mm.
are very much so in danger.
Right, I'm gonna make a mental note right now while it's fresh in my memory of how far out it was from the tower.
Right, you surmise around an estimate of 100 feet in radius.
Alright.
He says, Evans speaks on it. He says, if that really is the case, Tullius, this is a much bigger problem than I could have thought of. A tower is one thing, but a tower that is able to terraform the surroundings is another. What it'll do to Waterdeep, I don't know, and I wish not to know.
Right. Which would mean time is even more of the essence than before.
Precisely. It's important.
And even more than what it'll do is what these little fucking, well, they're not so little, these giant fucking golems that are all around the statue.
Say what?
There are
Yeah.
golems. You mean there
Yeah.
are sentries out and about?
Yeah.
That's...
Couple of them they're like grouped up too, so they're smart, and they're part of the sculpture. It looked like they were like, stone, dudes that wizards use, but they had like crystal in them.
No?
So
in them.
I don't know.
What did the crystal look like?
The crystals are part of them?
Like bluish, right? Bluish with like speckles.
Yes, you remember it being that they kind of are coated in these crystals in many parts of their bodies, in which it seems to be this sort of bluish color, light blue color. Yeah, just kind of jutting out.
That's concerning.
Yeah, Evans nods and he says, that is very concerning.
Right, and I'm almost positive that it changed, like, the way they were acting. It looked like they were, like, being defensive of it, A golem's just gonna stand there, but they were, like, apes, guarding the entrance.
It was very curious.
So if I'm correct in what you're saying, then they are indeed sentries. Meaning that anyone who tries to enter is going to be meeting resistance.
At least without an invitation.
Quite.
Huh.
That is absolutely a problem. Well, alright, well, as you put it before, mental note, and we'll handle that when we get to it. At which point the carts begin to stop. And Evan says, I suppose that means we're here. Alright then. He goes ahead and shifts over to and he opens up the doorway for all of you to get out as you begin crawling out from the carriage. You are met with a pretty sizable structure in which is pretty well maintained, very well put together, just like Winter's household, but it's much larger, more wide, and seems to have all the different noble houses' flags and standards kind of hanging from the rafters a bit. In which you can tell this is somewhat like an embassy in a way. But the nobles certainly have their grip on this. This is definitely theirs. And Evans looks over and says, well, this is where they conduct their business, so... Which Edgar comes from behind and says, quite right. Now, I don't need to tell you all that. You need to be on your best behavior here. They're going to scrutinize everything that you say. You've won me over. But them, you might have a much more difficult time doing so.
How'd you sneak up on us? Asked the usually aware ninja.
There's a lot of things I'm very good at. Things you're not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate, he kind of turns over towards the entrance. He says, "Wait in the foyer for now. When they call you, you'll come in. At which point, you'll give your case, and they'll go over it. Be prepared for questions. They'll ask plenty of them. Also, remember, do not speak unless spoken to. They're very particular about that."
Okay, should maybe like me and Tullius dress up as lawyers?
I don't think that's necessarily needed.
Not entirely, but just make sure that you are presentable at least.
Right. We want them to see us for who we are and what we're going to do for them.
Precisely. Now, I will go ahead and get the hearing set. For now, just wait. And he goes ahead and heads off into the building and closes the door behind him, as a couple of the guards give them a salute. And you guys are now out in the front courtyard, kind of hanging around as this nice fountain is kind of just gently letting water fall. You guys are kind of surrounded by a bunch of nicely kept hedges. The grass is very green, very well kept. This is a very nice looking place, especially for a lot of places in Waterdeep. So what are we doing?
You know, I think just in case I should just stay out here with the kid. I'm not about to blow up on them and ruin our chances.
Evan Snosley says, I trust your ability, but yes, I understand.
I hope I can phrase this right. Can I try to read the room, so to speak?
Read the room?
Yes. See what everyone seems to be up to. Like
everyone.
Like that.
Okay, in a little more context. Like, are you talking about your group or the people around you?
Around me.
Okay.
People around
roll me investigation real quick.
Okay. Not an expert in that, but I'm not bad at it either, I believe.
Investigation is an
4.
int, I think. So. Oh. You're. Let's see, investigation. Oh, you are actually proficient in this. So 4. Excuse me. Plus 4 is 8. So. All right. It's kind of hard to tell. A lot of the guards here, for one, when you look at them, are very stone-faced. They don't really seem to give off any sort of emotion other than just their diligence. This is their job. This is what they do. You kind of look around to some of the the gardeners as well too. They're out and about, not paying any mind to you. You can't really read them either. It's kind of hard to tell. It just seems like business as usual here.
Don't know about y'all, but this place kind of makes me feel uneasy.
Yeah, okay, glad we're on the same page. Cause glad we're on the same page, cause this shit, it's like, oh, like it's like super. I don't know how to explain it. It's a word.
It's very uncomfortable.
Oh, come on, guys. I don't know. I'm gonna like put my hands up towards it and kind of like close one eye. You know, this would probably be something we can do with the silver hand sort of thing.
Evans kind of walks over, his hands behind his back as he kind of looks around. He says, To make it as fanciful as this?
I see it.
I suppose.
Well, I mean, it just kind of like, the general idea.
Well, we have to start off a bit small. Our building's not exactly going to be as luxurious as this, but I suppose so. Maybe. You might be onto something.
I'm trying to figure something out.
Something that sticks out like a sore thumb so everybody knows exactly who we are and what we're going to do.
Well, if our insignia is anything to go off of, yes, it will stick out quite well. The silvers and the blues and such will definitely be out in the middle of everything.
Okay, but can we put snacks out so that it seems more relaxed?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
Like, put a little table out, put some fruit roll-ups on it.
Making it look more welcoming.
I have never heard of a fruit roll-up before. This sounds interesting.
Oh, they're
I think-
delicious.
I think we've done something here. I'm actually
exotic.
with them on this one.
Making
You know what?
making it look more welcoming. Possible?
Whenever we make this place, I'm going to make sure that we have a mess hall that is big enough to fit everybody who's a part of our organization.
Oh,
That sounds... imagine a mess hall the size of... bigger than any other guild hall out there. And, of course, when everyone get to conversate, there's also... we can hire some chefs in there in order to be able to make all sorts of food from all different places.
I can make my booze.
Exactly.
I don't know. A library would sound kind of nice.
A library too,
yeah.
yes, absolutely agree with that. I need a place to be able to put my books, after all.
And we'll make all the living quarters soundproof.
He looks over at you kind of suspiciously. He says, then his expression softens a bit. Oh, right, yes, of course. Soundproof.
So people
Only
can...
Tullius. Only Tullius.
I think they call that the silent spell.
Doable. I mean,
But anyways, I kid. I think we really have something going for us here as well, just talking about it. A facility in which all are welcome. Just like our little mishmash of us. Our, dare I say, family. Ah, yeah, there you have it.
on the topic of going in there, though, I think I will stay out here with Rhea.
Are you sure?
oh.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive.
They're gonna want to speak with the majority of us.
Oh, if we're like a group,
Whoa.
like
Whoa.
if a group
Oh
of
my
four just walks in there, oh, wait, hello?
Hello, you're
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's sort of robot real hard. You're good now.
Sorry. Yeah, if like a group of four walks up in there and is like, we want to explore this tower. Maybe not, but if a group of like 9 walks there, oh shit, maybe, that's a little mosh pit.
Not to mention, they might be impressed by your pet project there.
Pet project. Excuse me.
With all the love in the world. And a play on words.
Yes, I had a feeling that was a play on words. No offense given to Jasper and his machinations.
None taken.
Ah.
Really. Pretty sure Faith would love to impress. Looks at the cat.
Kind of looking back up at you.
I'm pretty sure she'd impress quite a few.
More than likely, most people have not seen anything like this here. Artificers seem to be very rare in these parts.
Quite rare. If I remember what my mentor has told me.
Well, if I remember correctly, she mentioned something about spreading the knowledge so that others could pick that up and make something of themselves.
Tully's get it? Spreading the knowledge.
Canocti.
Dear gods, man.
Not in front of the children.
Behold the real reason why the twins are a little,
Also,
are a little silly.
I'm getting a little suspicious here. Were you responsible for my mishap last night?
I prefer to take on no responsibilities. I like to live a freer life.
I'm gonna insight check him.
Okay,
Can I
go
help him?
ahead. If you want to insight, sure, go for it.
A dirty 20.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I definitely failed that.
Okay.
I got a 24.
Um.
Just watching.
So tell me, Ganakti, what does what does
Oh yeah,
Tullius
I was fully responsible for everything that happened.
Yeah, it kind of comes to you, Tullius, in a bit. It's like a little bit of information, and then at once it hits you like a brick wall.
You were the one that tripped me.
Oh no. Yeah, you got me.
And it just looks over. He says, "Oh God, was it the mage hand on the ankle trick again?"
Again?
Yes, it happened to Moors earlier yesterday.
Yeah, listen, when you are but a conduit of what should be, and you see two lovebirds that just need a gentle push in the right direction, in the name of Bahamut, and I kiss my pendant, I will give you that push.
I'm pretty sure a fake demon. Oh god.
I don't think using mage hand like that is considered a push.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think Bahamut deals in love. It's more like
No, he doesn't.
No, he deals in law, and the law decrees that Tullius sleeps with all of our targets.
I swear.
Oh dear.
I just like shake my head like, oh, I swear by the Raven Queen.
Gee, you need to read over your stuff again. I'm pretty sure it doesn't say that.
Yeah,
If it weren't for the fact that I had a really great time last night, I have half a mind to kick your giant ass if I had the chance.
You're gonna need a really big boot.
Exactly, which is why it's only half a mind.
Good
I
save.
could always get faith to help. I mean, you'd only ask.
Yes, and I believe I can set the boot on fire.
Ooh.
I think the novels
Wait,
are
haven't you
watching.
done that before?
It's fine.
But I did have a great time, so you know what? We'll call it even.
Yeah, you're welcome, and I give him a fist bump.
Every
I
adventure.
kind of flinch when he puts his fist out. I see. Fist bump him back.
All of our adventures seem to end like this in one way or another. Or begin, for that matter, actually.
Shenanigans.
Listen, the only thing I didn't check for is, like, what if she's got, like, a fiance that's, like, super rich and gonna get fucking driven out by the mob? So just kind of keep an eye out.
I could have told you
You
that.
can walk out.
I could have told you that. She is not seeing anybody.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Although, I will mention that she is a bit of an adventurer of sorts.
So she'll whoop your ass.
Actually,
Oh, well,
more than likely.
I can tell you firsthand she was pretty adventurous.
Oh gods, I do not.
Children, Tullius.
Yes,
Children are present.
children are in earshot.
Oh, what's that, Edgar, her father? You said what?
I like grab his mouth.
As you're doing that, you have you see the doors open up. As you see the scene in which Tullius is stuck frozen as he's grabbing Gnocti's mouth.
Like fully off the ground, like
Yeah.
feet on his chest, like
Yeah, exactly. As they're looking, and there's just this awkward silence in which the attendant that's there sighs for a minute and says,
This is normal.
"They will be meeting you now." And he turns around and heads back inside as the guards open the door for you. And it just kind of looks over to you guys and just shakes his head. He says, "None of that while we're in there, please."
Where's my favorite gift? Hold on.
Right. A formal.
Right. At any rate, and he turns over to Ria and says, "You'll be staying out here with your children and such, I assume, as you mentioned before. The rest of you, are you with me on this?"
Of course, with you till the end.
Right.
Good luck. Don't do anything I would do.
With Jackson.
You don't have to worry about me on that regard.
Oh, I'm more worried about. And I look at G.
Yes, I share the same sentiment. Then again, I have shared the same sentiment since day one.
Oh, really? Since day one?
You know,
Reach over and
you know, I mean it in jest.
I'm gonna reach over and pat Faith. Let's go impress.
Indeed. Let us go.
I'm just looking at Xander, just go, shoot.
Oh shoot!
He just kind of says, "Oh, fine. We'll go impress them, I guess."
I love this couple so much.
And he turns around and he says, "But if they ask about the kids." And Evan says, "No, they will be not asking about the kids. Now, please." He puts a hand on his shoulder and turns him around. Onward.
But if they say anything bad about the kids, please let me know. I'm ready to do something.
At which point he kind of conjures the pictures in his hand. He says, "Oh, don't worry, so am I." At which point, Vince turns him around and the the pictures dissipate, and he says, "No, now onward." And kind of slightly pushes him. He's like, all right, I'm going."
That's my husband.
All of you begin entering into the foyer, in which the attendant, very nicely well-dressed human male, looks to you very average, but aside from his outfit, nice robes, kind of looks over to you, and he gestures towards a staircase kind of leading upwards over to the right-hand side of the building, inwards. And he says, "Just go down the hall. It'll be your second door to your left." And Evans nods and he says, "Thank you." You guys make your way up the staircase. Red velvet kind of adorns the floor. The walls very nicely painted. Seems to be a sort of like a tile-esque thing, gilded with a bit of a pattern to it, in which it seems to be like gold triangles in a way, and sort of a formation that kind of lines the walls a bit. As it is very well kept in here. In fact, this is probably some of the nicest furnishings you've probably been in, aside from being in House Winters, of course. You do eventually make it to a set of double doors, oak wood. As Evans looks over it again, and he turns around to all of you, and he says, "Well, I suppose we'll have to impress them now. Anything we want to say or do before we go in?"
Don't screw it up.
Wise words.
Goes nothing. Or everything.
All right. He goes ahead and places his hand on the doorknob, and turns it and opens it. As all of you are met with a scene in which suddenly all eyes are on you coming in, and it feels a little awkward. It's kind of like going into a classroom when it's really quiet, and then you're opening up the door and just like everyone's staring at you. It's kind of like that.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of
big
something
haters,
before we walked in. Before we walk in,
Yes.
I'm going to cast Enhance ability on probably myself.
Not sure.
I'm gonna cast Enhance ability on G.
Okay, on Ganakti. All right.
Uh,
What are you
Eagle's
giving?
Eagle Splendor
Eagle's-
for Christmas checks.
Ooh, okay. Eagle Splendor. All right, cool.
Just give him a pat
So,
on the back.
yeah.
All right, guy.
Yeah, you feel a little bit of magic coursing through you, Ganakti, as you feel a little more charismatic now, a little more people person. All right, so just keep that in mind. You've got advantage on your charisma checks. All right. So as you guys are entering in, it looks like to be a few wooden desks elevated on one floor. Then behind them is another pair of desks in which you see a couple of empty seats, but there's a lot of the noble house heads. As you can tell, there's a lot of them. There's a couple of one guy that seems to stick out is a really beefy looking man. You swear that if he flexed, the sleeves would probably rip off. You assume that that's probably Brahm. You see what looks like to be a very snooty-looking elven woman. You assume that's probably Adelina. She's kind of staring at all of you. She has a fan in her hand a bit, kind of watching. And Edgar is in the front, as he's behind one of the desks, and he says, "Good, you're all here. These are the ones I was telling you about. The ones that call themselves the Silver Hand.
Jack takes a respectful bow.
They don't necessarily need any introduction. We're all very well aware of what they've accomplished. At which point I'll lend the floor to them, in which they will explain their thoughts on the situation." And he goes ahead and moves aside over to one of the other empty seats over to your left-hand side, as you see the couple chairs in the front for all of you to sit in, behind a couple of desks. So I imagine all of you take a seat.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not rude.
So kind of spread out, almost like almost like you'd imagine in like a panel. So you have this big wood desk and a couple of chairs behind of it. Evans takes the middle seat. As what's your seating arrangement? Who's sitting where?
I'd probably sit at the far end of one table.
Okay. Far end of the table, sure.
I'll go sit over there next to two of these.
Okay.
I think I'll sit by Evans.
Okay,
Wherever
sure.
he be.
Sure, you can do that. He's sitting in the middle, essentially.
And I'll take a seat by Jack.
Okay. As you guys are kind of sitting down, your sitting positions seem a little off, only because your entire group is not exactly here. Xander will take a seat kind of next to Jack, though. There's two seats kind of empty at the moment. And at which point the elven woman on your now left-hand side speaks up and she says, "And where are the other two?" And which Evans kind of speaks up and he says, "They are currently handling matters in which are related to the situation ahead." And she kind of looks over a bit. Well, you can tell it's very judgingly. She says, "Oh, I thought they believed that this was not as important." And Evan shakes his head. No, ma'am, of course. Now, in which a scruffier kind of looking man from the your right hand side looks over to all of you, human, kind of shaggy brown hair, and he says, "That aside, good afternoon to you all, Silverhand. I am David Gilland, house head, and I wish to extend my gratitude for all of you coming by to in a way, volunteer for this. But before we come to a decision to making sure that you are the ones that should go unabated, we wish to hear your thoughts on the matter. Have you faced anything like this before?
It's certainly a unique situation, but we have done many investigations before.
At which point, the larger-looking man says, "Investigations is one thing, but action is another. So tell us, friends, what makes you so confident that you are able to handle this?"
Well, if I am allowed to take the floor, your eminences.
In which Rom kind of gestures, says, "By all means, go ahead."
Shortly before arriving here in your great city of Waterdeep, we encountered no small convocation of feral beasts, or beast-like men, of course, you might be familiar with as gnolls, that had half a mind to come and destroy this fair city. We had no choice but, of course, to dissuade them from doing so. Unfortunately, that costed them their lives.
At which point, the elven woman, I assume Adelina, speaks up and says, "Oh, I've heard of this. Do you really believe that gnolls pose any threat? Any adventurer out there, greenhorn or not, can handle that, I'm sure."
Be that
Perhaps
as
in
it
small
may,
groups. But a whole patrol, but a whole platoon, now that's a different story.
A paler-looking man from the back, human as well too, kind of moves his bangs from his eyes, and he says, "Excuse me, I am Torville Skyshield of House Head. Yes, I've heard of these reports as well too, and Adelina, I need to remind you that gnolls do not, and absolutely do not, form military-esque formations. You remember this?" But she kind of huffs a little bit, says, "Very well. But I still believe that they are nothing compared to what it is that we face."
Out of character, do we still have that little shard of depression?
Banished it.
Nope, you banished it.
Okay, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oopsie poopsie.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll speak up again.
Okay.
It would also be good to advise you. Of course, we had already dealt with it, thanks to the skilled magic user that we have here, gesturing to Ganakti. They were in possession of foul magics that could have done much more harm than could be thought of with just a normal, even a slightly more intelligent platoon of gnolls.
At which point, Brahm speaks up and he says, "I do not mean to interject, but, well, those gnolls have always used foul magics. They worship demons of sorts. What is it exactly did you find?"
This is true, that you talk about their awful deities and whatnot, and, well, we no longer are in possession of it. I'll prestidigitate a similar-looking object.
Okay.
Which
you
kind
do.
of like
Mhm.
pretend like kind of like behind my back sort of thing.
Right, okay.
Something of similar quality, though not quite magical.
At which point you hear Annalena say, "Oh, how gaudy." Davin says, "Yes, that is interesting, but aside from that, do you know exactly what it was, or just was a piece of obsidian?"
Not entirely. More or less that it carried magic in it. And as far as we know, this magic can affect other creatures and be non-creatures, like, the very chairs you're sitting in. So that's why we kind of really need to get to investigate it so we can figure out what and how it's affecting the creatures.
Of course. It may very well be that this giant structure could be made of this same material.
At which point they kind of look at each other and they kind of little hush whispers and such. And then, at which point, Torval speaks up again. He says, "So, it's very possible that you may have found something that had caused... What was it? Some sort of psychosis? Did it drive the gnolls mad or something? More mad than they already are?"
It gave them abilities that, beyond even their vaunted shamans and whatnot, could even accomplish.
Roll perception. Oh, not perception, I'm sorry. Persuasion. Persuasion.
Not a great roll, but thankfully I'm super good at it. 24.
Not the good, but it is 24. Yeah, I got you.
22.
Okay,
Sorry, 22.
Alright, so that's still really good. At which point he nods and he says, "Interesting. That does sound very dangerous. A whole structure made of this material could cause alarm. Imagine if something like that got into our city."
And imagine at this particular moment, as we sit here deliberating, it could be spreading its influence.
At which point Annalena speaks up and says, "This is conjecture and hearsay. You don't even have the object in question."
Because as we just stated, having an object like that in the city of these fair people might not be the smartest move, Catalina.
There are ways in order to make sure the magic doesn't spread out, essentially. Use your brain.
Well,
Right,
it
and
seems you're
you
curious
seem to
and
know.
obtaining so much. Perhaps the tower has the materials, and you might be interested in studying it, no?
She kind of leans in a bit, and kind of leaning down a bit as well. She says, "And what do you mean by that, exactly?" Evan says, "He did not mean to insinuate anything. It was more along the lines of a hypothetical." And she kind of leans back up again and kind of this judging sneer says, "Hypothetical or not, I will not sit here and let anyone insinuate anything. We're here to discuss if you should be doing this, and I don't think you've quite won over my vote."
Oh no, I do not mean to insinuate anything. I'm merely suggesting that, with careful study, perhaps this object could bring knowledge. It could bring better protection to the city. After all,
And there's
knowledge is power, as they say, wouldn't they?
And Brahm says, "I agree. It's quite true. Quite true. After all, if we don't know what we're dealing with, then, of course, we're powerless to stop it, are we not?"
Exactly.
Which is why, to get to the bottom line is this. We beseech your permission, this council, from all of you, the permissions to delve deeper into this thing and to understand exactly what it is and either rid of it, of our fair city, or find a good way to put it to use in our city.
A little more of hush whispers as they seem to be talking to one another. And at which point, Davin speaks up again. He says, "An interesting proposition, but as convincing as this been, I'm not sure if I have been swayed necessarily."
Then perhaps,
Mm.
then perhaps in the time it takes for you to, find a better adventuring party as willing as us, one of those little green troops that are wandering about your fair city might get curious and investigate this giant structure without your permissions and without reporting to you every detail they find. So
Yes.
we are offering to do this under your guile with expedient.
Roll persuasion.
Remember, you have advantage.
You have advantage.
Oh, I do, yeah, let's go. Oh, bet. One of those was a natural 2.
Oh.
The other is... I'm not proficient, 18.
18?
Right.
Okay. After you had mentioned this, Davin looks to you, straight head on, eye to eye. Which he nods and he says, "Alright, it's a very good point. The more that we sit here and bicker about this situation, the worse off things can be." Interesting. At which point, Adelina speaks up again. She says, "Well, I still am not convinced. What is it about all of you that really speaks to us that you are the best to do this for? I mean, I'm certain there are other adventurers out there we can hire to do this."
Well, because Lady Catalina, and I shoot her little ring.
Adelina.
Adelina. Add a.
Evans is just like, oh dear.
In the time that we sat here discussing aimlessly of who should take care of this, we've already found that this is spreading across the land and turning the very earth into a completely different substance. And who knows how long it'll take to get to your very walls. And as well, there are sentient creatures wandering about around the giant structure. So this will cause a threat to any hunters in the area, any wandering civilians, any caravans coming through. And this is just a conversation.
At which point she sort of puts her fan down, looks over to us, and says, "You investigated without permission from us then? How do you know this?"
Not investigated. I'm just looked with my eyes. You look over at it. You can look over your walls and see it for yourself right now.
You could see the tower from beyond the walls, certainly. But this sounds
Right.
like something that goes on inside or something.
Well, we've been walking through, and I see many things with these orc eyes of mine. Just took a look at the tower.
From my understanding, you did not reach Waterdeep until late last night when the tower was not existent.
Right.
So how could you have known what it holds?
Because we're obviously the people that you need for this task. We know things you guys haven't even figured out yet.
Be as that may, it sounds like to me that you went ahead against our wishes. At which point
You can track my whereabouts.
at which point the doors open up, and ahead of you, you see none other than the Grand Arbiter Varus. He says, hello!
Oh,
Hi!
I was just thinking of you.
Hello!
Oh, matter of factly, I just saw our good friend, and I point to Varus as he walks in. I just saw our good friend this very morning to check if he was alright at the coming of the sculpture.
He goes ahead and gives a slight bow. He says, the half-orc speaks true. Sorry to barge in. And Adelina says, yes, you have certainly done so. Be quick about it. He says, of course. I wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts on the matter. When I had saw that the Silver Hand here went ahead and inside, I just wanted to make sure that the conversation that 𝘵𝘪𝘳 and I had and all the information was set and straight. At which point she looks over to you, 𝘵𝘪𝘳. He says, you'll have to forgive me. I went ahead and made sure that they got some information that they had. I know that it's not within my boundaries to do so, but when this is a threat to the entire city, well, it's best not that we sit on our hands and do nothing, yes? If anything, these are the ones that you're looking for that will be able to handle everything. After all, have they not defeated dragons before? Have they not faced against the Underdark and came to tell the tale? Have they not already proven themselves? At which point, there's like hushed whispers and kind of talking amongst themselves, in which Adelina kind of looks over, kind of a little flustered a bit. You can kind of tell that the information that both Varus and 𝘵𝘪𝘳 had brought to the table have definitely swayed her, and she doesn't like to be wrong.
After all, if this tower, in fact, inflicts a great evil upon the city, and the nobles do nothing, who do you think the people would look up to now?
At which point, Rom says, by gods, he's right. That is very true. I think I know where my vote lies. At which point, Torville nods a bit and he says, certainly. I think I know where mine lies as well. Davin also looks over and he says, it's taken a minute, but I think I have my thoughts on the matter too. And finally everyone sort of looks over at Adelina and she kind of looks over and she says, I don't know why you're looking at me. But fine, I put my vote in. At which point, you can see a grin come from Varus, and he kind of gives a bow again. He says, I much appreciate you listening to what I have to say. Now, I just wanted to make sure, 𝘵𝘪𝘳, everything has been set and straight. That's why I'm mainly here, but I thought I could help out as well. At any rate, I have some things I gotta be doing.
Wait, many thanks, Varus, and I'll just give him a nod.
He goes ahead and gives a slight bow to you. He says, good day, good day. And he goes ahead and closes the doors behind him. And which Evan says, well, if the Grand Arbiter has our backing, I feel that is a pretty good source of confidence, I feel. At which point, Edgar nods and he says, so, I suppose we'll go ahead and put the votes in. At which point, everyone kind of starts writing down on some parchment. And it's like a very... The silence in this room is deafening. Once everyone is done writing, and Edgar comes by to the tables, in which he looks over some of the votes. And at which point he nods, and he goes back to to his seat, and he says, "The votes tallied. It seems that we can grant the Silver Hand permission to investigate unabated."
Hey.
We're looking to you now. Make sure that you do Waterdeep proud. At which point Evans nods and he says, "Thank you. Your faith is not sorely misplaced. Any and all information that we find about the tower we will share with you." And at which point Adelina says, "Please do. We don't want to regret our vote." which point Edgar says, "Thank you, Silverhand. Now, by your leave, we will talk later." At which point Evans gets out of his seat and he kind of gestures for all of you to do the same.
Right.
Yeah.
At which point, once you leave and close the doors behind you, Evans just sort of sighs a bit and like leans up against the wall. Says, "Oh dear gods."
You alright?
"Yes, I'm fine. I don't like having a bunch of eyes on me. It makes me uncomfortable."
Very unnerving. Very.
"Well, I do believe that this is cause for celebration. We're finally able to start making a name for ourselves. But I'm curious," and he looks over to you, Ganakti. "You had spoken to Grand Arbiter Varus earlier?"
What about?
Oh, well, yeah, I was getting the wand, carrying the equipment for the adventure, and on the way back he was dead. I was like, oh my god, the shard just popped up like a turd out the floor. Are you okay? And he was like, yeah, I'm alright, Ganakti, thanks, you're a real one. And I was like, alright.
Did I hear wand?
Uh,
How about that?
yes, I heard wand out of that as well. You've got a wand?
The fireball wand.
Yeah, I put the wand back out. Yeah.
Did he talk to you about it?
Little bit. He was like, oh, that's a fancy wand, Ganakti. I was like, it is. Yeah.
Exactly did he talk to you about when it came to
The wand. He was like, he literally said, well, I mean, maybe he didn't. No, he said, I heard that you have procured items, actually. And I said, yeah, I have a wand, and he said, that's a fancy wand.
Insight check.
Okay,
I'm pretty
to be
sure.
fair, the words used were words used.
I
But
did hear that.
Yep.
So
Okay.
I still feel like there's something more.
Okay, well. Sure, go ahead.
well, you gave me advantage on this. So
Yep, so.
Insight and deception.
Well, no, his deception. It's charisma based.
Okay.
What you get?
I got a 21 on my insight.
Ooh.
Oh fuck! I got a 21 too.
Shit.
Oh fuck!
Oh, God.
Oh fuck!
Okay, I don't think... Have we had a tie before?
Greater
have.
than.
I think we have.
Equal to. Greater than or equal to is the DC. So, he made the DC.
It's my deception.
Yeah.
It's like how AC works.
Oh, so would Jasper know?
Wait, is she setting it and I'm deceiving against it,
No.
or
opposite.
am I deceiving and she's seeing if it's a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's like AC, then oh god, then Jasper would just made it to the skin of his teeth and figuring it out. So what does he figure out?
They definitely had a lot more words than that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because
that was the truth.
yeah. Your wording was very specific, so yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's basically the gist of it, is that you got there was more than just the wand being talked about. Otherwise, no idea what else was talked about.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then he was like, yeah, it's a crazy turd poking out the ground. I was like, yeah, it's a real crowner. And then...
I can't keep a straight face.
Oh shit, that saved me. And at which point Evans looks at you and he says, do you really have to refer to it as something like that?
I mean, what? Because I was thinking about like, oh, it kind of looks like a popsicle, but I figured that's a
popsicles.
little. Oh, the popsicle.
I like the popsicles a lot better than the other one.
Oh yeah. Oh, and it's melting on the floor. That's why the floor looks weird. I get it.
Sure, sure. You can refer to it as a popsicle. That's fine. Okay. All right. Well, now that we have permission to do this, I suppose that it's best for all of us to be prepared.
Okay, so are we like getting ready for battle? Are we getting ready for like mining mission through the side of obsidian? Are we getting what? How do we want to do?
Well, if there is no other way to enter aside from the front entrance, then we're going to have to make it past those sentries. Fighting them or sneaking past.
Is that?
Hmm.
I think I have a spell for this, but I don't know. I've never used.
Not to sound paranoid or anything, but perhaps we should discuss this outside of the building.
Yes. Maria would like to hear this, I'm sure.
Oh, we don't have it.
No telling who else might be listening, if anyone.
Indeed. The walls have ears. Alright, so. I assume you follow Evans outside back out to the courtyard?
Yeah, let's get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
Alright. You make it back out towards said courtyard, in which all of you are now outside, and Rhea, you are now back with your companions, as they have returned. And Evans looks to you and he says, well, good news.
Oh.
We have gotten our permission in order to investigate.
Oh, it's great.
We were heavily scrutinized, but everything worked out.
I had some choice words for that elf woman if it went to the professional setting.
I don't like that
After
lady.
hearing that, she just has this like deadpan look. Do I have to destroy someone?
No, not necessarily.
No, not yet.
And Sanders says, well, I don't know. She was kind of rude. Evan says, yes, she's very scrutinizing, but no, we don't need to destroy anyone. If anything, whatever awaits us at the tower, that needs to be destroyed.
She wasn't being rude to you guys, right?
She was.
No, just judgmental.
Yes, very.
Heavily.
I squint my eyes.
There was no need to exact justice upon this individual. Please.
Oh, but
Okay, well, you said the password, so I guess I shouldn't. Just grumble.
I don't blame you. Trust me, it took every fiber of my being not to speak out. I've done well to keep myself cool, but some days it's very difficult. At any rate, that aside, this is still a joyous occasion for the most part, with us having getting permission from the nobles themselves, so you can do so without any issue. The only issue is the tower itself. How do we go? But the question is, how do we go about it?
Well, I think your the initial idea is probably the best, unless we find something when we get there.
Right. If what 𝘵𝘦𝘪𝘳 saw was true, that the sentries are out and guarding the area, they'll be looking very diligently for any trespassers. We've faced constructs before, but these sound different. Not like anything we've faced before.
Definitely
Okay,
does.
but just saying constructs guard something, and there was definitely more on the other side grouped up as well. So they were probably guarding two entrances.
Or just the perimeter itself.
2 entrances, yes, the perimeter. That's probably the case.
Were they like kind of spread out like an ant colony?
Yeah, I'm gonna make you roll
Like,
it.
are we talking Xenoblade or are we talking like?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, I won't make you roll history or anything. Yeah, what you saw was that they were kind of spread out. They were kind of wandering, so they were kind of like shuffling about. Almost like as if they were kind of broken, but still actually functioning. So, just crystals seem to be jutting out from their many different parts of the body.
Okay, you guys just saying, just based on how, it had a weird magic vibe and it's affecting those golems. Maybe it's like an infection, so don't get cut or anything like that,
Infection. That's a very interesting
Yeah.
proposal.
Don't get an STD from the popsicle.
What?
Medium 48 feet.
Yeah, just treat it like that.
I suppose so.
Caution around big guys. Okay.
Right. Try to exercise the utmost caution. Let us not deal with being foolhardy, and we'll be okay. All right. Let's return back to the Winter's household, gather our things, and begin.
Right. Okay. Alright, just while we're on the topic, what if, since they're so spread out, and we know that there's a couple localized right there, there'll be an entrance somewhere right there, what if we, make an explosion right here, they all wander towards the explosion, and then we slip by?
A diversion.
That sounds way better than just rushing in, you know what I mean?
My eyes open at the word explosion.
Oh, yeah.
That
would be a diversion then. Okay.
I've got a fancy wand for it and everything now.
You most certainly could. Okay. I think that's fairly solid. If we can get their attention, we could probably, more than likely, be able to get them to move away from the entrance, in which we can promptly move in.
Right. Sorry, not the dog, the cat. Can the cat, teleport? Or is the cat just real fast?
She's particularly fast. I haven't.
You can't, pop her back?
I'm not sure, actually. I know I haven't installed anything inside of her that could possibly allow for such a thing.
Well, I know other wizards, they can make it so their familiar can pop back. I thought it was not the same thing.
Familiar, that's a magical kind of thing. Faith here is mechanical. With a few minor touches of my own.
Familiar, I give a thumbs up.
In a sense, yes.
So yeah, let's just blow shit up. We can't really do nothing.
Perhaps it's Occam's razor. We go ahead and do the most simple thing. Alright. Well, let's gather our things and begin. The tower is off to the south side of Waterdeep, so all we need to do is go down to the south gate and we'll be able to see it.
Wait, are we heading there right now?
I don't see why not. We have gotten our permission. Do we need some time?
Popsicle bound we go.
Well, hold on now. It seems Rhea has some reservations. We should hear her out.
Well, I'm more worried about the kids. I don't want them to be around any danger.
Of course. This would be...
Oh, we need to get a babysitter.
There might be somebody I know here in the city. Hopefully, if they are here, they might be able to watch over them.
Well, if you trust them, then I don't see why not.
I do. I trust the man with my life, actually.
And that would be appreciated.
Of course. All right. I will go ahead and make some contacts then. At which point, Adjur comes up from behind. He says, "All of you did well. Handled yourselves quite well under pressure and scrutiny. I'm fairly impressed. Well, whatever you have planned for this tower, I'm eager to see. And so is everyone else. So, I'll leave you to it. My household is yours for the time being as well, so feel free to drop by anytime. As for me, I still have some things I need to take care of." At which point he goes ahead and gets into the carriage and he says, "We're heading back if you'd like to head in." He says, and Evans speaks up and says, "Yes, we're heading back down towards your home, actually." So. All right. Well, I imagine all of you pile in again.
Yeah.
All right.
While we're on a carriage ride with Edgar, can I like pop my head out?
Okay.
Can I be like, "Oh, it's
He kind of looks out, kind of staring straight at you.
Oi, just, nothing creepy like that. Or just in case something goes south, do you happen to have a teleportation circle in your house? And I could copy it down if shit goes south, we can just pop back to your house and we're right outside the tower."
Kind of thinks for a second, and he says, "No, but I suppose one could be made."
Ooh, that's gonna take a while.
Indeed.
Actually, yeah, I mean, if you could have one made for future use, that would be cool, but...
Right. I just don't usually like having unsolicited guests in my house.
No, yeah, I'll definitely, let you know we're coming before we come. If it's ever, not a popsicle right outside your city.
It's a tower, but yes, I agree. And he goes ahead and slinks back into the carriage. And Evan says, "It seems that we won't have any way to get out unless when things get bad. So
Yeah.
we're going to have to be very careful. Exercise the utmost caution."
You know us.
Oh, of course. That's... We've had some close calls in the past before.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to make sure that we are able to make sure we get through that. Alright, so you guys make it back to the household. Is there anything you would like to do? We're going to be wrapping up here in a minute.
I want to sleep.
No, if we're sitting at the house, though, can I take a short rest?
Sure, you can take an hour. Evans needs to get in contact with whoever it is that needs to speak to in order to help out with the kids, of course. So.
Alright, so I'll just spend my time getting my spells back.
Cool. All right. Anybody else doing anything?
No. I think I would just be just getting myself ready for what may come.
Same here.
Okay. Aside from being a babysitter, yeah. Okay. So everyone's good? Okay. I didn't hear anything from Tullius this time. Is he... Are you good?
I'm good as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't used anything
Okay.
magically, so.
I didn't think so, but I thought I'd ask, because that's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. At which point, as you're kind of outside, Rhea, with Evans, he had told you that he was going to meet you outside to meet with his contact. At which point, interestingly enough, you kind of hear what sounds like clatter, like someone rushing by first off down the courtyard, kind of curiously. At which point, suddenly a blast of cold air comes from the other side and hits this man running off. And curiously, Evans looks over at the one guy who got blasted, in which his feet are completely frozen entirely. And he's freaking out. He's like, oh god, oh man. In which, from the other side, you see a very well-dressed human man, sort of dark brown hair, piercing blue eyes, kind of walk by, very finely dressed, walk about. And he looks over and says, I never thought I'd have to keep dealing with thieves, but that's fine. And at which point, Seven says, that's just like you. At which point he turns over to you, Rhea, and says, This is my old friend. Mentor, actually. A fellow arcane user, actually a cryomancer of sorts.
I just got my head. Rhea, pleasure to meet you.
He goes ahead and extends a bow to you. And, hold on, let me grab the name here real quick. I had it written down. It's around here somewhere.
Oh my god, thank god, yo. I thought you were about to say Kane.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, oh, hi.
I was waiting for it.
Kane.
No, not quite. Kane's hair is a little longer. This man's is a little shorter. But still, interestingly enough, it kind of has somewhat similar features, I suppose. Aside from the cryomancer part being the biggest comparison. God damn it, where is this name?
Absolute largest comparison there.
Alright. God damn it, I know I had this around here somewhere. I'm so sorry, I had everything. Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to come up with something on the spot here.
Once you find it.
Alright, he goes ahead and when he bows, he says, I am Deslin. I had mentored Roger here for a good while he was with House Winters. And it seems that even part of my old adventuring life catches up with me. He looks over towards the guy frozen and he says, a little help? He just sighs and he says, one moment. He turns over back to the guy and he yanks him out of the ice as it crumbles and melts to the floor. And he goes ahead and hands him off to the guard and he says, it is your problem now. And he goes ahead and back over to that and he says, I apologize for the interruption.
No, you're fine. I respect that.
Evan says, yes, he's very good at what he does. And Deslin would even said, some say the best, but I am not that narcissistic. Still, I am happy to be able to help you. Any friend of Evan's is a friend of mine.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, acquaintance.
He sees all of you kind of coming out as well. He says, the silver hand. He goes ahead and gives another bow, and he says, I am quite honored to meet your acquaintance, actually.
And you are?
And Evan says, this is my old mentor, Deslin.
Whoa. That's crazy. You
Is
don't
there
even
ice
look
on the
that
ground
old.
still?
Yeah, but you kind of see them both side by side, and they're kind of this. There's a dichotomy, as Evans has this sort of this white hair, and the other one's sort of almost blackish, dark brown. Evans has purple eyes. He has Deslin has these azure type eyes. Both very finely dressed, mages, of course.
I hear a cat.
Yep, we have a podcat.
Sorry.
It's okay. I like making that joke. Anytime I get to say podcat's a good day. Anyways, with that said, Deslin is very finely dressed in like a coat as well too. He sort of seems like what looks like to be a tie that has this sort of sapphire attached to it, in a way. So, pretty. These clothes look very expensive to you. Which point, yeah, he kind of looks at all of you and he says, I've heard all about your adventures before. The fact that you had made an enemy of, well, she shall not be named, is very impressive and a plus in my book.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking crazy to me. You might be the most famous couple in like all of existence.
What are you talking about?
You and know who?
Evans says, I do believe he means the one goddess that chromatic dragons worship.
Nah, I think he means the other one.
Deslin nods and he says, Evan speaks correctly.
Oh, her.
The chromatic dragons you have slayed had been problematic. But with them gone and out of the way, things have gotten a lot easier around here. So that's good, especially for me. But at any rate, I am glad to meet all of you finally. Be it, I wish it were under better circumstances. I'd serve tea, the best that this land has had, but perhaps I'll brew some when you return back.
Yes, please.
At which point he turns back to you, Rihanna, and says, rest assured, your children are in good hands with me.
Well then.
Again, it's much appreciated.
Of course.
Just watch out for this little one, and I just point at Alexander.
He kind of looks over and says, pray forgive me, what seems to be the issue with this one?
He's a bit of a troublemaker.
Ah. Interesting. I'll keep an eye on him then.
And to some extent, Alexandria, I guess.
Alexandria. Fine names.
Thank you.
Yeah, looks over and says, oh, they look so alike. Interesting. Must be twins. Yeah.
And I'm just gonna like slowly count the two, like, okay, it's gonna drop the box. Tears a little.
At which point, Xander, that's on your shoulders. There. It's fine. You're in good hands with this guy that we don't know. And Evan says, yes, you don't really know much about my mentor, but I assure you, he is one of the most trustworthy people I know around. So, at which point he turns over back to Deslin. He says, again, I appreciate you coming out of your way to do this for us. He looks over and gives a bit of a slight smile, and he says, it is no problem at all. I appreciate meeting all of you finally. In that regard, though, you all should be out and about taking care of this issue. The longer it is going on, the worse things are. And I can tell you right now, I can feel the energy coming off from that thing. It's not good. Be well. Be careful. And most importantly, return back safely. Alright. Unless anyone else has anything to say?
God, I really hadn't heard to call that guy Kane for some reason.
I mean, Paso?
Oh, is that aesthetic?
Session's almost over.
Yeah, right?
Very well be.
I don't know.
Who do you think it is?
It might just be a cryomancer, who knows?
You know, before I leave, I'm just gonna look at Evans and his mentor just back and forth, like people like Master.
He looks over, he says, yes, even I had to learn somewhere. It was interesting working with him. He's very kind. Always looking out for those who cannot defend themselves. In fact, his philosophy is something that I carry with me all the time. In fact, he is the reason why I had suggested the Silver Hand once we all got together and did our adventures for a while. He's actually the reason behind it.
It's nice to meet you.
So that's why we keep moles around.
I suppose so. It's. I know that you two have your differences and such, but hopefully you guys can come to an agreement about something. Maybe one day. I mean, it's been a year, but things can happen.
Yeah. Yeah, things can definitely happen.
So, how are we reaching the tower?
Whoa, straight to it.
Do you walk? Do you take it? Let me show you on the map here. I'm gonna put a thing here.
It's like a couple miles.
Yeah. So currently where you're at right now is within the North Ward. So you're gonna need to go all the way down to the Southern Ward, all the way down until you reach over here in this little circle. Is where that is the tower.
Oh, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was like right in the middle of the city. And
No, I said outside the wall. I said outside the walls.
Oh.
Yeah.
Put a tower there.
I don't have a tower. You're gonna have to deal with a circle. Don't badmouth me, or I'm gonna fucking slap you.
Inject that. Go away.
I'll make it a Christmas ornament.
You just gotta.
There you go. The Christmas ornament.
Sure.
Sure.
That works. Oh lord.
I was gonna try to draw a rook, but okay.
Oh god. Okay. Please do not draw on my map.
Too late.
Too late. It's too late. Okay, but seriously, how are we getting to the tower? Are we walking, or what are we doing? There are other ways to reach your destinations.
Well, not sure if a full frontal approach would be ideal. In fact, do we even know where the entrance exactly is?
Not quite. Ganaki is the only one who saw it.
How about we walk up and then once we're like in sight, you know, through the trees, we can find that little huddle because I'm almost positive the closest entrance will be right behind the little cluster of them, and then we'll figure out where we want to cause the diversion from there.
Didn't you just say that it is guarded, right?
That's what he said. Yes.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'm not sure how good a golem's version is, but I'm sure the dark of night will be most helpful to sneak us in.
Well, they were definitely crystal golems, so they might be able to see in the dark.
It's, if you want my professional opinion on the matter, I do believe that, erring on the side of caution, that yes, they probably can see through the dark. They may not, though.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, they may not, but it's very possible.
How do you approach a foe you know nothing of? Well,
Cautiously.
exactly.
Well, you asked.
Perhaps we need to lure away the guards first before we try anything. But
Well-
how?
Well, they were suggesting explosions.
Right, Jack, are you feeling alright?
Eh.
Yeah, are you getting senile, I believe they call it in the human culture.
Oh no, my mind is sharp as ever.
Right. Well, yeah, me and Rhea are gonna blow shit up, so all the little dudes are like, oh, hey, let's go towards the pretty colors.
Well, there are if they are sentinels, then will be prompted to investigate.
Right.
Just don't set another forest on fire, please.
No, if there's like nothing but
promises.
tile. No, Tara, there's nothing but tile as floor outside the tower, so we should be good. Can't even light it on fire.
Well, we won't get a proper lay of the land until we get there. So, perhaps we should take a carriage and head off over there. It'd probably be quicker than
Right.
walking.
Any chance to not use my legs is a good day in my book.
I'll remember that.
Right. And you would use their legs for any other reason. Anyways.
I mean, that gives me all the more reason to have Faye chase you around a little bit later.
See, I meant as far as travel.
Maybe we can literally put a fire under your butt.
Yes. Oh, that is very doable.
Hey man, whatever floats your boat.
Alright, I'll go hail us one then. Alright, so you guys get you guys get a normal carriage just like 𝘵𝘮𝘰 did. Evans goes ahead and pays up the fee for everybody, and you make it down past the southern ward. It's a bit of a trip. You guys are kind of just hanging around together as you usually are, and eventually you reach out towards the south gate and begin to move out towards the all the way to the end, nearby where the high road is, and the carriage driver stops and he says, "This is as far as I can go. Good luck to you on your journeys and such."
Right, thanks, good mate, and I give him 5 gold.
Oh, okay. Deduct that out of your bag there. He says, "Much appreciated, thank you." He goes ahead and hangs a Yui, and you're all left on the outside of the gates over here, in which you can properly see the tower ahead. Nothing but grassy fields up until you see where the tower is. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of cover anywhere.
So me and Rhea can definitely get the explosions off, and I know we'll be safe. Like, you know, we don't even have to be on the floor with those little stone buggers. But how are you guys gonna sneak in once they chase the fire?
Well, perhaps my pass without trace spells could help sneak us in without detection. But that is a big if.
It's a possibility.
Indeed.
More the matter is,
You think we should scout around first before we go in? We don't want to go in and just hit a dead end when there.
right? That'd probably be
Oh,
True. Perhaps we need to know which way, many entrances of this tower first. Is there only one?
okay.
Back door? That's
And not to
something
mention the diversion of the fireballs. How are we supposed to know if this interest will react to that?
No, yeah, you're right. Okay,
we won't know
alright.
until they set
I'll
off.
kinda-
That's
I
the
mean,
problem.
as much as I love explosions and all, but
That wasn't a concerning sentence.
Whenever explosions are mentioned, I get a bit concerned.
Well, just because I want to save a really strong spell, I can make two of us invisible. Like, I can make me and another person, and then we could, like, snoop around, and then they won't see us. But I don't know how far we're gonna get in 30 minutes and then come back. But yeah, if someone wants to...
I propose
Invisible.
someone needs to scout ahead first. And yes, I'm willing to volunteer.
Alright, great! High five!
Well,
Come on.
alright,
Come
do you
on.
know anything about the art of stealth?
go ahead, but gotta meet us. Whatever we're gonna meet.
Just stay right here. We'll stay, because I'll make sure that we stay exactly 30 minutes, that way we have enough time to get back from wherever we can. Because this only lasts an hour. I'm gonna track time from when we'll just come in. Just half of it.
Hey,
I'm just gonna give you a deadpan look. You better not do anything stupid.
well, plan was risky to begin with.
Alright, I'll grab his hand, Jack's hand, and cast invisibility at a third level so that it can make both of us.
Okay. So at which point, everyone around can see 𝘵𝘮𝘪 and Jack just sort of disappear.
Alright, don't let go of my
Let's
hand,
go, I
because
could've
then
made
I'm
you
gonna
step
lose
on
you. Yeah.
All right. So how are we approaching this?
Alright, stealthily, can we make our way through the sea of golems and go towards that little cluster pressed up against the tower that I saw?
Sure. Go ahead and roll stealth with advantage because you are invisible. Both of you.
Alright.
Oh, geez. Okay.
19.
19?
19 plus with everything else, yeah, that's like way over 20.
Oh, fuck. Ooh.
If you can get me a more specific than just way over 20, that'd be good.
Oh, okay.
Because it will matter.
Okay, let me get the math ready then.
Fuck, wait.
Okay, it's based on dexterity, right?
Yes.
Okay, dexterity is 8? No, that's saving throw, sorry.
Mm.
Dexterity 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 23.
Okay, real
Plus
quick.
the sneaking suit. 1, 2,
Invisibility, it says range touch, it doesn't necessarily say self. Do I have to be one of the two? Or can I make any two people invisible?
Let me look at the wording of the spell here.
Question: Does
'Cause I
Jack still
completely
have some
different-
sort of? Does this Jack have some sort of stealth suit?
No,
Or is,
he does
okay,
not. No.
so I think it's just a +4. So it's
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's gonna be
Because I
23
forgot I
MP.
am not stealthy, so I will much
Yeah,
rather
this-
one of you guys go there.
Yeah, this one. Let's see.
So
Anything-
adding my rate dexterity, yeah, it's gonna be just 23.
Let's see. Anything the target is wearing, is carrying is invisible. The spell, creature you touch becomes invisible. Yeah. So when you do it at 3rd level or higher, you can target 1 additional. So that would mean.
Okay, so I don't have to be one?
No, you would. That's what-
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, because it says creature you touch becomes invisible. So creature you touch is the normal one. When you do it at higher,
that's-
you can do an additional. It's every slot above 2nd.
Sure.
Yeah, so it would be you two.
That's a -1 to stealth is a 14.
14?
Yeah. We're definitely gonna get squished, Jack.
Okay. Let me make a couple of secret DM rolls. Oh boy. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So, as you guys are making your way across, you're not letting go of one another, so they're making sure that you keep track. You reach over towards where the tower is. You can clearly see now these constructs, these golems of sorts, are kind of shuffling about now, kind of almost seemingly kind of broken, but they have those crystals jutting out of them, in which you can clearly see the tile on the floor, as it seems to have strangely almost melded to the ground. It's really odd looking, very surreal. But you do see the tower in plain view, and there does seem to be an entrance in the front. Looking about as you're kind of keeping quiet, one of the constructs kind of moving about kind of looks over in your direction for a minute. Over Bill's once you start to make a bit of noise, but it stops and then keeps moving on, going on its business.
Oh, fuck.
It almost,
Oh,
yeah, you can see a spotlight coming out from one of the eyes on the top. It's like a big, like, cyclops eye kind of thing. So it's like a big, like, flashlight kind of thing, and it's kind of looking over to where you're at, and it's, as it stopped looking at you, you had this light shined on you, but it just decided to move off. Kind of just sort of thumps away from you. And now you're currently surrounded in this area in which you're out in the front entrance of this this tower, in which you are surrounded by at least 4 of these constructs kind of moving about. 2 of them seem to actually be sort of standing guard in front of the tower, but unmoving. Well,
Do we see a door at least?
Do you see what?
Do you still see a door?
Yes, you see what looks like to be a double door. In fact, glass. However, trying to look inside, it looks like pitch black. Can't really see inside.
Whoa.
Well, certainly seems well guarded.
Yeah. Alright, let's go up to the door. Let's walk up to it, and then we'll, like, throw a little handful of rocks, and it'll make a clatter over there, and they won't hear us open the door. They won't even, like, notice. Alright.
Or I could cast. What was it?
No, don't cast anything, then you're not invisible.
Ah, fair enough.
Okay, so what are we doing?
Yeah, right, yeah, I'll throw a fucking, let's walk up to the door.
Okay.
And put my hand on the door. And then with my other hand, oh, wait, I can't do that. I have to hold Jack. Jack in one hand, rock in the other. I'm gonna throw the rock.
Okay.
And then open the door. Look, right as it hit.
Okie dokie. You go ahead and do so. You grab a nearby rock, and you're tossing it over towards a direction, so it just kind of clatters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just away.
I won't make you roll anything for that. That's easy enough. In which it does, and in which immediately the sentinels look over that way and begin moving towards that direction. Taking the opportunity, you pull Jack towards the door, and you open it, in which you get to see what's inside. It is unlike anything you have seen before, 𝘵𝘮𝑒. Hang on, I want to DM what it kind of looks like to you.
Oh, I see many things with these orc eyes of mine.
So it's kind of like this. If you can take a look, I just DM'd you what it looks like. It is.
Whoa, like layers and shit. Looks like a fucking hotel, guys.
What the hell?
It looks like the inside of a rib cage.
Oof.
Oh.
Do I see this too?
Yes, Jack. Let me show you.
But like
let me
glass and shit.
Let me DM you the what it looks like.
Boy, what am I gonna see? Oh boy,
Oh, fuck.
that's
I'm not-
interesting.
I like the reaction.
This is quite bizarre.
What do you guys do? You're looking on the inside, yet the door's open.
I'm gonna I'm gonna squeeze on Jack's hand and be like, Jack, maybe this is less of like a sculpture or weapon and more of like a hive.
It certainly looks like a living quarters, perhaps. A fortress of
Yeah.
sorts?
Like, what if this is just like a diamond bee nest with like these guys in it?
But this architecture is so strange. I've
Yeah,
never
like, what the
seen
fuck?
material this bends this way. What on earth is this structure?
Do I see anything on the floor with us?
No, it seems to be blank. Just the inside that I had sent you.
Is it me or is it just empty though?
It is
yeah.
definitely
Is there,
empty.
like,
Huh.
is there like stairs or something?
Yeah, you
Like
can see,
how?
yeah, you can see stairs.
And there's nobody going up and down the stairs.
No, there's nobody there.
Do we even hear anything?
No, it is silent, and the silence is deafening.
𝘵𝘮𝑒, I have a strange theory.
What?
I think whatever these golems are, they might be guarding an empty building for some reason. At least.
Whoa. Whoa, what if it's like a spaceship and the dude had to like commandeer it because it was like boom, boom, everything's blowing up. So there's like one dude in here.
That is the most outlandish thing I've ever heard, sorry.
As you are talking about this, you hear what sounds like large footsteps coming towards your direction.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Do you hold the door open? Are you closing it? What are you doing?
Silence.
I step out the way there. I'll pull Jack with me.
Okay, alright. So you pull and you move out of the way. The door closes as you release the handle, and the sentries stop, turn around, and are now facing outwards, away from you. And now you're sandwiched between two sentries. Invisible.
Rock and hard place.
I have to fart, Jack. Jack.
Don't do it.
I need. Do I?
You know
Is
what?
it-
Just because I will never get a chance to do this ever again, roll con save, Bill. Or you cannot.
Oh fuck yeah! To hold in the fart.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How tight on my butt cheek. Oh, they're very tight.
Well, please tell me what you
Oh,
want.
nothing. 17.
There is a moment of quiet, and it is just you, 𝘵𝘪𝘳, invisible, sandwiched between these two sentries. And it's just kind of whatever at this point. Jack, you... Suddenly something wafts over your nose, and it is pungent. Disgusting. As 𝘵𝘪𝘳 had now just let out a SBD.
Orc just farted at me.
Yep.
Oh dear, I think I need to roll a save because I don't think Jack is ready for that.
You know what? Fuck it. Do it. Roll con save.
Oh, yes.
no, that's a 3.
Oh, yes. Let a fart be our reckoning. Oh, yes.
Well, that's a 3.
No.
And I don't think I'm very proficient in Constitution.
Well, let me take a look at your sheet. Your
You
constitution.
better be the beefiest ninja.
That's 1.
It's a +1. So it's a 4. This is what happens. This is what happens, Jack. So as you're taking this in, you hold your breath as best as you can, but suddenly it's just so... It stinks to high heaven as you suddenly begin coughing. And immediately, you have 2 spotlights on you.
Oh, God. I'm gonna slam my hand over his mouth,
Okay.
and I'm gonna minor illusion something coughing like 5 feet next to us.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
so that it's like same spot, just not us. And I'm gonna start backing away.
Okay.
Just leave the cough there
When
and
you-
just start pulling him away.
When you do that, when the sentries comes by over to it, and immediately just slams down onto the ground, as the tile kind of comes upward from the force of the hit, and it kind of looks over to it, and then goes back to where it was and just sort of stands there, narrowly dodging getting smushed.
That just happened.
What are we doing?
Okay, Jack. I don't know how the fuck we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
Slowly and carefully and without farting.
I already have to fart again.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
Lord, what did you eat?
Dude, that fist was right next to my face. So I'm about what I ate. Alright,
It's nervousness.
Look, I'm gonna. Is it? Wait, I have minor illusion too, don't I?
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna take a small direction, and then we just kind of run. We're already in the danger zone.
alright. Yeah, alright. Here. It's double doors, so we'll both take a door. We'll both minor illusion, and we'll just throw whatever behind us, and then fuck it, open the doors and run to the team. I'll see you on the other side, buddy.
All right.
Well,
Coordinated
The plan
efforts.
was being fun, but
Coordinated efforts.
Yep.
All right.
let's do it.
So, go ahead and, Okay, you know what? Actually, no. I won't make you roll anything. I have to roll. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. So, with that said, as you say, good luck to one another. Both of you cast your minor illusion. What are we illusioning exactly?
Let's see. And you know what? I think I will make.
I'm gonna illusion an orc pulling away a human that's trying to cough.
Okay, sure. As you throw open the doors and do so.
I think I will illusion some guards pretending to, trying to sneak, and they look shocked at the orc.
Okay, sure. I'll allow it. As you do that, you throw open the doors, cast minor illusion into the room in which they see that. Immediately, once the doors fling open, they turn over very quickly, and you begin to book it as they start to run past you towards the entrance, and then all you can hear behind you as you're running is just slam, slam down on the ground. And
Okay, Jack. Don't slow down as I'm running, because we're not invisible anymore, buddy.
Yeah. You immediately invincibility is now casted off of you as you begin running. At which point, you are now within eyesight of the sentries, and they look towards your direction. And you can hear thundering footsteps follow behind you.
Here we go.
Oh fuck yeah! I'm running.
Okay.
I'm running. I don't even care where. I'm running.
Okay. So you'll go ahead and I'll say you kind of bang a right over towards where your companions are, and both of you just book it. Luckily for you guys, sprinting, you're able to outrun them. Actually, but there is one thing they are going to try to do.
Uh-oh.
Oh lord. Cool. Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Are they casting a spell or something?
It's not a spell, but it is a range attack.
Uh-oh.
One of which was a natural 20.
Oh no.
And that was on you, Ganakti, unfortunately, and the other was a 21 on Jack. So I think both hit. As something sharp enters your body, dealing a total of about 9 points of piercing damage. You feel something sharp stick into you as you're running away, but you're able to get away, thankfully. As the rest of you see Ganakti and Jack running for their lives. As they're now in front of you, in which Evan says, "Dear gods, what happened? What did you
Holy
see?"
shit! It's like the fucking chocolate factory in there.
Oh my god.
Are you two okay? What'd you guys see?
I saw my life flash before my eyes.
I don't think I mean that. We saw. I'm not sure how to describe it, but seems to be some sort of fortress of a sort. Living quarters for sure.
Living quarters.
Yeah.
Trips?
It looked like the inside of a honeycomb.
Something like that.
Looked
Yes.
like.
It's just. I cannot describe it exactly. The architecture was unusual. Nothing I've seen before.
It was something different, but it definitely looked like there was a lot of really small rooms that can only mean one thing.
Perhaps. What should we do? Should we try to enter in and investigate further, or what?
But one strange thing is, we didn't notice too many people inside. In fact, as far as I know, it's just the golems guarding outside.
There's nothing.
Some of them started
Nothing.
walking around.
Nothing inside, and they're just guarding an empty building.
We
Well-
assume that no one is there. We're not sure if it's empty per se, but
Yeah,
there's
that's
very
what
sound
it
to be
gets
heard. So
Okay. Well, if I can help with the distractions of sorts, if we're doing this explosion thing, I can certainly assist with that. If we're going to enter in and begin investigations, then so be it. But I do not wish to decide on the behalf of everyone here. What should we
Well,
do?
I mean,
There's definitely a lot more to this than we realized.
I
what
figured-
about the sentries? Is there anything that you can see about them? That's the right
Well-
word.
they're very sensitive to sound, but they're not technically most intelligent, but very vigilant.
Oh, there goes Poach.
Right, they are probably very single-track minded, essentially. They're there to do a job and nothing more.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure your distraction worked pretty well. If big enough, you might attract all of them. So, I can't believe I'm saying this, but we're going to need the biggest boom you can ever muster.
I can assist.
Oh,
The biggest
finally.
I'm already forgetting that.
The
Well,
world's biggest
first
boom.
off, let me go ahead and help you with your wounds.
Yes, having a rock stab into you is not pleasant.
Yeah, when you see when you look, there seems to be a crystal jutting out of you.
I ripped it out.
Yeah, you.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you do so.
Goodness.
And,
Well, if we're lucky, it could sell well on the market.
I just,
Let me go ahead and heal them up and we can get started.
Alexandria,
Real quick.
sorry, wrong. As Rhea is fucking healing me, I'm gonna just look at her and I'm gonna stare at her. And I'll be like, oh, I'm feeling real crystally. And I look down at it and I'm a minor illusion, like my legs turn to
Oh,
bluish.
what an ass.
Don't do that. I was like, what are you doing? And I just like slap him at the same time using healing touch on him.
Oh, that.
I'm sorry, I'm not feeling I feel no crystals.
Evan says, yes, if that was the case, I really wish not to obliterate you if that was the case. Please don't make me do that.
Nafty, can I see a piece of that real quick?
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I'm using healing hands on G, so that's basically just 10.
Okay, 10. Alright, cool.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Alright, so you have a piece of this crystal in hand. Jasper, what would you want to do with it?
I'm gonna cast. Oh, ritual. How much time do we have? So I can do identify on it.
Okay.
Ritual cast identify. Just to figure out what the hell this is. But
Hard to
I'm thinking about it.
hard to say when you do so when you're using identify. It's not of this plane, first off. It is, interestingly enough, it's sort of giving this sort of same vibe that the tower is. But interestingly enough, it's almost like as if it is alive. It's almost like you feel as if like you can feel a life coming from it.
Ooh, that's interesting. Living crystal.
Living crystal. That sounds concerning.
Yeah. Very. It's definitely a part of the tower. That much is for sure. The living bit has me concerned, though.
As it does me. Well, if we're going to make this distraction, then let us go about it now.
Well, after you.
All right.
Oh. And real quick, I want to use Cure Wounds on Jakku.
Nanjaku. Sure. Jakku, heal 8. Yeah, heal 8 HP.
Yay.
All right. At which point, you walk with Evans towards the front of the where the tower is at. Still far away enough so the sentries can't see you, but enough to start lobbing big old fireballs. All of you begin following behind the two. And Evans looks back and says, "All right, once the explosions happen, we'll make a break for the front. Get behind it, close the doors, and we'll continue from there." Sound good?
Like a plan.
A foolhardy one, but one that we can say is most certainly exciting. All right.
Our whole job is exciting.
Indeed. All right. On your command, Rhea.
And I just like stretch out my arms and everything.
Yeah.
Like really happy.
Absolutely.
Give me a point or a location, and I'll do it.
All right. Evans looks over and he says, "Those two over there," as he points over ahead. You can see two of the sentries. They're about to converge on the same position. Once they're close to one another, we fire.
Sounds like a plan.
Brilliant. All right. And in which point he conjures out his spell book. So it kind of floats a little bit over his hand. Fire begins to conjure in his other hand. And at which point a small ball of fire is within his grasp. He says, "All right. You ready?"
Did you really have to ask that?
Of course not. At which point he tosses it, and the fireball expands outwards as this massive ball of fire as it comes in like a mortar. And which, Rhea, I assume you do the same.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah, I'm chucking it.
Chugging that bad boy. As these fireballs come in and just this massive explosion in which, go ahead and roll damage.
Fuck yeah!
Evans is casting it at 6th level.
6th level.
Yeah, he means business.
Wait.
Which that does a shit ton of damage.
I'll just do half that lap because it
Biggest boom in history.
Biggest boomus.
I see 8d6. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I was waiting for this whole time.
Oh, you guys, you might just actually might actually be able to kill these things in one hit. But we'll see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god.
I've got the biggest fucking smile on my face. This is beautiful.
Me too.
My inner Phil says yes.
Oh,
Hang on.
My inner
You're
Jack
doing-
says no.
You guys are doing 2 fireballs at the base of this tower, right?
No. I don't think so.
not quite at the base, but very close to it.
Uh-huh.
On 6th level.
And so from a certain angle, if they go off simultaneously, you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. Forget it.
Okay.
Well, now you got me curious.
Okay. I got my. Okay,
Okay.
so that's. I'm so excited.
Hell yeah! I heard you rolled my damage. What do you have?
I got 27.
All right, Evans rolled 39.
Boom.
So this is going to explode, and once the smoke clears, many of the sentries are crumbled and charred, in which there is nothing left. At which point, just about at least, as a bunch of crystals are kind of rolling on the floor, and which Evan says, "The smoke's about to dissipate. Let's go now." And I'll begin bum rush towards the tower, as you see a couple of the other sentries converging on your position. I need everyone to roll dexterity saving throws, please. So they don't get caught up in this.
Dexterity?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Lord.
Everyone?
Everybody.
Oh god, almighty.
Oh man. Evans with them champion
That's
rolls.
16.
16? Okay, cool.
That's a 10, so dexterity. That's a 14, I believe.
Okay.
So that's.
22.
She does
Nice.
not have the thing. Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's alright. Okay, yeah, that's an 11 for me.
Ooh, okay. What did Ganaki have?
16.
16? Okay. As you guys are running, you're seeing these crystals kind of fly by you in like this storm of the torrent of these of these crystals flying at you like jagged bullets. as many of them pass by you, striking the ground. This dirt kind of kicks up by it. Very closely, Rhea, you almost get hit. You can feel it kind of whiz by your head as it kind of brushes past your hair, but doesn't hit you.
Oh, fuck.
Luckily, as you close in on the door, Evans flings open the doors wide, and he yells at you, all of you, to get in! Get in! You guys come pouring in which he slams the doors shut. And there's just this deafening silence, and you can only hear your heartbeats at the moment.
Oh, also want to know, while I'm just running in, I'm just laughing maniacally.
Yeah. Yeah, your laughter becomes loud, too loud and echoey, as you are now within a new room, which I can show you what it looks like. All of you now. Hold on, let me grab the picture. Mm-hmm.
Never again.
Never again. I'm with
Wait,
Jack.
did I
on
pass
this.
Jack? I kind of missed. Did Jack pass the stereo?
Yeah. It was the DC was low enough, but if you hit that, things would have been really bad. But anyways, so as you all turn around to look from the doorway, you look towards the entrance. And this is currently what you're looking at, more or less.
Oh,
Oh, what?
Yep.
Yes. Strange. Huh?
Evans looks up around. He says, "You were not kidding. This is very strange. Where are we?"
I wish I can say.
what is this?
What name is this actually supposed to be?
I don't know.
Is it like? Can we hear our voices echoing?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
I say I don't know, but it sounds great.
At which point we'll go ahead and end it there for now. As you guys are now
Giant.
currently all in the tower.
Mm.
I was so excited. I
Fireball's
needed it
fun.
out.
Fireball is very fun.
Aw, I don't get that spell. No, this is not
Alright,
this
well.
release. That's a sorcerer. Yes.
It's already pretty dang late for me, so
Yeah.
I better go to bed soon.
No worries, you guys definitely should go to bed, or most of you. It's late, and I appreciate you coming to join in and having some fun. So,
It's like,
nothing says fun like Fireball.
My God, I'm. Some part of me is now appeased.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty
not.
good. Well, at any rate, with that said, tune in next time, everybody. I don't know when next time was be. Normally this would be me saying next week. I don't know what'll happen because of holidays and whatnot. A lot of us are pretty busy, but if we can go ahead and start again next week, we will. But at any rate, we'll see you all in the next session. So, hope you had
good
fun.
night.
I know I did.
Oh yeah.
Alright, we'll see you all
Things
next
got
time.
fun and interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. Alright, we'll
Alright.
see you all next time.
See y'all next time.
Goodbye.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.